And we're here. Welcome everybody to this moment in space and time here at this little YouTube channel where we're going to be reading live nonetheless for all 12 zodiac signs. Hopefully everybody out there can hear me. Hopefully everything's good with the software and we're ready to go. Just a few programming notes. I won't be back until next week, likely around Thursday. But for those of you watching later, it really doesn't matter. I hope you're all doing well out there. Hi Benita. Welcome to everybody joining in the chat. We're just going to go ahead. We're going to jump right into it and get started. I want to say thank you so much for your continued support and watching these programs. If you lovely ladies, I'm well, thank you. If you lovely ladies, hi Tati, could let people know that we won't be doing the personal stuff tonight. We're just going to go through all 12 signs and see if we can get a tarot cast for each of the 12 signs. I'm going to pick them at random from my little box, from my little bunny box, and we'll see how we get started. So enjoy yourselves in the chat, chitty-chatty with each other, and let's see what's up and what sign is up first. It's always interesting to me. Each stream has its own consciousness. All right, here it is, perhaps for the season. We're going to begin with the sign of Sagittarius, everybody, which is pretty exciting. And I'll be reading today through the Starman Tarot. They're just going to be quick little tarot casts for all of our friends. If anybody wants to record which signs we've been through and which ones are upcoming, feel free to do so, moderators, but you don't have to. We're just going to wing it, as we always do on this channel. So absolutely. Megan, welcome to the program. So no need to donate. Go dump that in a Christmas hamper somewhere for, Toys for Tots or for people in need. No donations tonight. We're just going to rip through and read tarot for the signs. And we're starting with the sign of Sagittarius. So that should be really exciting. And I hope you're all doing well out there. I'm back in my pajamas once again tonight. And I'll be back next Thursday, hopefully. After tonight, I'm going to take some time off from the channel and get back into the nitty-gritty. All right, Sagittarius, the cards are well shuffled. Let's go ahead and move it over for you guys in Sagittarius. Hopefully the camera focuses okay. I'll just move that. And let's see what's going on. Wishing everybody in the chat the best in all things. Peace, prosperity, joy, bliss, abundance, happiness. Let's see, Sagittarius for mid-November. All right, these are going to be very kind of brief and short readings, but let's see what's going up. A reversal on the Justice card. And I've noticed one thing. Justice has been up quite a bit. This is a time for equalization for collective. But for you, Sagittarius, what I feel here is that you guys are trying to push through something. You guys are on a bit of a mission for the next 2 weeks to get to the bottom of a situation, to find out certain truths. And these are truths to do with the workplace, bigger institutions, things of that nature. People that just kind of, you're searching for transparency, and it's kind of been a long fight, Sagittarius, to be able to just, have people in your environment just not hold back. You're questing for it, I feel. You have a lot of tools and resources within your grasp right now. I don't see you threatening to expose the truth, or perhaps for some of you will be being pushed to that point of being listen, if you don't come clean, I'm going to come clean for you, and you don't want that to happen. So there may be some very real, some very hardcore, some very intense conversations, especially as the Mercury retrograde ends. It's kind of, stuff's going to bubble to the surface, and Sagittarius looks to be leading the way or charging the way to be you know what, either come clean or I'm going to come clean for you. All right. Followed next by a Knight of Pentacles. So a bit of a slow-moving fortnight for you guys. I shouldn't even use that word anymore because of the game. But these 2 weeks are going to just kind of crawl by for you. Hopefully it's not too mundane. It's not too apathetic or filling you up with any lethargy to any dramatic extent or extreme. But with the Knight of Pentacles up here in this reading for you, the feeling is that you want to be armored with the truth. You see this beam of light that's here is the same one that's being beamed here. So you guys are looking for an equalization. You guys are the ones that are really going to be pushing for fairness in situations this week, either in relationships or the workplace. A lot of this I feel may have to do with the workplace, but it's going to be a bit of a slow go. It's going to be tough for people to be on the same side as Sagittarius due to maybe certain fears or certain immaturities
around you, Sagittarius, which lead me to believe it's like you have to be very careful about jumping the gun. You just kind of have to stand your ground in many of the situations as that comes up this week. But you're pushing through. It's very linear. It's very straight line for you. You're looking to push through to the end of the month. You're looking to get through whatever adversity or obstacles you're facing. You're not beating around the bush. You're just going to cut your way right through things. But it's going to be a little bit of an endurance test, a slow process, almost kind of like the days running together, seeming like, wow, I've been pushing and pushing, but to no avail. But keep up the effort and keep up the strong work towards getting towards this transparency that you're seeking. It's going to come. It's just going to be a bit of a slow process for you. All right. And it's interesting because this is all about balance for you in these next 2 weeks. It's like lots could be coming your way, Sagittarius, that threatens to get you off kilter or pull you back or bring you down. And you have to remain unaffected by people in your environment or perhaps just the environment by itself. But when you look at the larger institution or whatever you're doing, it can be a little bit painstaking for you, I feel. It's just kind of like that old adage of the clock on the wall. The longer you stare at it, the slower it goes, especially if you just want to get out, get passionate, get living your life, because it feels as though you guys are really bogged down here at the end of November in the nitty-gritty, taking care of responsibilities, even taking care of other people, or being overextended because somebody is leaning on you a little bit too heavily this month, and it has that overtone of like, it's just not fair. I just need a break from this. If only I could pull away. But it's almost as if, Sagittarius, many of you are going to just be feeling mandated to be in, to be a part, to get finished up, wrapping up projects and things like that. But it seems as though the finish line, the goal, is way far away. It's way off into the sunset, and it seems like a bit of a marathon. So remember, Sagittarius, the advice that comes so far in this reading is, it's an endurance race. This is not a sprint. So if you have things, you may be finding yourselves telling other people, well, you're just going to have to wait because I have stuff on the go here that is just a little bit more pressing at this time. All right. And again, for you guys, Sagittarius, it's almost as if your yes is your yes and your no is your no. A lot of things are very black and white for you at the end of November this year. There's not much room for gray area. You're not really accepting people that are coming to you with gray area or turbid type things. Everything for you in terms of your judgments and your discernment of things is going to be based on the clarity. How transparent is it? How real is it, not only for you, for me, but for everybody in the situation as you're looking to play equalizer here, Sagittarius, for this month. All right. And this is a nice place for you to be. I don't see too much activity in regards to like love offerings or fulfillment, like emotional fulfillment. There's going to be no wild swings over there in the romance department. It's just kind of like par for the course, steady as she goes, business as usual type stuff going on for you, Sagittarius, which is okay because, as we wrap up towards the end of November, and I want to wish you guys a happy early birthday and all this sort of stuff. But it's like, it feels as though this year in particular, your solar return is going to be a little bit like bogged down in the fact that you're heavy into your responsibilities. You're nuts deep into your work, as they say up in my neck of the woods, and you're just looking to finish. You're looking to maybe you've got Christmas vacations or holiday plans or something of this nature, and you're just very dead set on getting your responsibilities taken care of and getting them done. All right. So Sagittarius, a pleasure to read your cards as always. Yes. All right. I don't know if we had any Sagittarians in the room that caught any of that, but you guys let me know how well that all resonates, and feel free to keep each other company in the chat. I'm not going to be engaging too much in the jibber jabber, in the dribble drabble in the chat tonight, because we're not connecting with people on that deep individual level for the roundtable readings. This is a zodiac readings for the signs, okay? Sagittarius, here it is. This is your Oracle of E card. Hasta la vista, baby. This is like, goodbye, so long, good night. If it's unfair, you're just shooting it dead in the water, and you're recognizing things that are dead in the water. You'd be telling yourself, it's time to move on, it's time to move past. You're going to be telling other people the same thing. Let's just get over it. Let's just move forward. Let's take care of the rest of this
rather than trying to dwell on and fix stuff that's already occurred, that's already happened. And it's very noble of you, Sagittarius. You're just in a bit of a dogfight, it feels, and it's going to be okay. You'll be all right, absolutely. It's just you got to get in there and get through these next couple of weeks of the dirty work or of all of that. The season ramps up. You can really begin to feel it, especially for those of you in the larger centers in urban areas. The season really ramps up towards this holiday times, and it's a bit of a masquerade, a circus, and a rodeo all going on at the same time. But whatever it is, it's saying you need to remain focused on your projects, on your work, and you need to shine some light in on them and truth for the other people involved in those projects so that you can get them finished in a timely fashion, so that you can have your solstice break, you can have some time and that silent night, so to speak, and none of this is following you home for the holiday season. It's already upon us. Happy Kwanzaa, Merry Krizzle, happy not bar mitzvah, what's the other? Hanukkah, not Hanukkah. All right, so let's see who's next. All right, and thanks to the lovely ladies in the chat room that have joined me. It's a Saturday night. Well, it's Saturday night and I ain't got nobody. I got some money 'cause I just got paid. How on earth I need someone to talk to? I'm in an awful way. All right, here we go. Up next, we're going to continue on with the fire signs. Here it comes. It's time to do a mid-November reading for a sign of Aries, the ram. Or charging on ahead or ramming through. A battering ram. Remember when they try and break down the castle gates and they go get the battering ram? That would be awesome. All right, for a sign of Aries now, let's see what the Starman Tarot has to say for mid-November, please. Mid-November for the sign of Aries. All right. Benita asks, does anyone know what it means when Jupiter, Neptune, Saturnus, Pluto, and Uranus all match with someone else's birth chart, like all the same planets in one house? Yikes, that means they're an anomaly. They should either be a millionaire, dead, or in prison. One of those kind of things. And if they're none of those three, then, hold on to that person. He's probably a pinball wizard. Just kidding, Benita, but thanks. That's awesome. All right, cards are well shuffled for Aries. Let's take it back to center stage for the Ram. Ram tough. Dodge Ram trucks. They're reintroducing the Warlock, which was a truck that they introduced back in the 70s. It was awesome. Had the pipe stacks coming out the roof. I don't know what it looks like these days. But yeah, it's kind of funny how that Ram comes up. All right, let's have a look, Aries, and see what's going on. All right. We begin your reading for mid-November, the camera focuses, with a nice Two of Wands here. You guys are in a bit of electrifying energy. You are in this position, this take charge position that you're very used to, which is very nice to see that. It's almost as if you're not really paying attention, though, to the future so much, which can be like a double-edged sword, even though this is a card of Wands. It's kind of like being present and focused in the moment helps you. It helps the people that you're supporting, Aries, but at the same time, there is a cautionary message here to sort of keep your head up and to keep your head on a bit of a swivel here, because directions and things can change very quickly. And usually Aries is right in the thick of it. They're right in the mix, and they absorb the brunt of the big energy changes that kind of come along for collective. You guys are going to be again, looking towards completion. There could be some interaction as well with the sign of Capricorn. I don't know if this is good, or it might be a little bit of divisive type energy between you and some of the earth signs potentially. But again, you guys are going to remain in this beautiful, fascinated way in your free time where it's like you're going to feel liberated to explore and research and gain more knowledge about the activities, the vocations, the hobbies, or even just the special interests that really keep you fascinated. And I don't know if this is just on an entertainment level. For some of you, it could be. For others, it could involve your future plans, but your head's not really in that space right now. But the card is almost asking you, it could be a little bit more so, as long as you have the energy. Going to be very important for our Aries friends to stay grounded, because it's very electric type energy. Rapid fire, quick fire, dealing with like 7 problems in the course of 5 minutes through these next couple weeks. People are going to be looking to you, as always, Aries, for leadership, for guidance,
direction, okay? And it's going to be more of a pace setter type atmosphere where it's like direction, not so much, but leadership, you're going to be like, watch this. I'm about to blow your mind. I'm going to show you what I can do. I'm going to donate to you my wealth of experience so that you can also learn. I see you very much in like kind of a teaching or mentorship role with this Two of Wands here. Sorry about my camera, guys. Hopefully the bright colors of these cards have got it going everywhere. All right, let's see what's up next. Again, much like the fire energy that we just read for Sagittarius, we have this reversal on the Queen of Cups. So again, not too much looking for the future, not too worried about tomorrow, which is kind of nice. But again, you want to make sure that intuitively you stay sharp. It's one thing to like have a good working knowledge of everything that is black and white and is apparent in front of you. But sometimes, Aries, it's important to ask the question like, what is the deeper meaning behind all of this stuff that is going on, whether it's challenging or whether you find it easy? There's usually some deeper meaning, but you guys really aren't in the headset. You're not in the mindset to get involved with anything too philosophical. It's very nuts and bolts for you guys because you're looking to make gains. And again, it's not about physicality. This is about research for yourself and promotion of your own interests in your free time. I really like this energy, but again, it comes up here and it lets you know that you need to remain somewhat grounded because you could be coming across as, you know, a little bit too authoritarian or manipulative, even just in terms of like how your mood can affect the energy in the room, like in relationships or workplaces or whatever that might be. Whereas it's like you're just seeing things for black and white and you know how you feel about the tangible things and the things that are in front of you, and you go about and you attack it, Aries, and then other people could be sitting back being like, they didn't even discuss an approach with me. They didn't even take my feelings into consideration. And Aries, that's a big struggle in this particular lifetime, in this time that we're in, is because of the sensitivities and everybody's so touchy-feely. So take caution. If you're dealing with like young people or younger people in the workforce, and stuff like that, people that don't have a lot of experience, you may be coming on a little bit strong for those people. Okay. Oh, now we've got this nice Princess of Pentacles that's come up in your reading. She's in a reversed energy here as well. Now, she's here to say, like, you guys have gotten to the point where you've established value with what you're doing, all right? And I really like that. But it's almost as if you do deserve more, and you do have this feeling like I deserve a little bit better, or I should be acknowledged or shown at least a greater level of appreciation for either your hard work, your understanding, or your leadership. And it's almost as though some of our Aries friends could find themselves in situations and places where they're taking for granted. They're letting their inner light shine, but they've been doing it in such a strong and consistent way that other people, they just kind of come to expect it. Like you go out and you do your best each and every time, and everybody realize, well, you know, Aries is just such a strong character. They're such a good person. They're such a hard worker. They're amazing people. But then at the end of the day, it's like, well, where is the appreciation? Where's the thanks for all that I've done? Especially for those of you that work within larger institutions, larger organizations, and things of this nature. The other message that I feel that comes along with this card is about going within, the depth that you have, Aries. Sometimes it has a feeling like everything is, you know, very surface level. You know, there's risk, there's reward, you know, there's adventure, there's loss, there's gain. But it goes back to this. What does it mean for you on the inside? How much work, Aries, have you really been doing to uncover some of the hidden potentials that you have? And it's in regard to your creativity and the vast amount of wealth that is within your character that you don't tap into on a regular basis. It's not that you take it for granted. It's just sometimes you lose sight of it and it feels as though like it's not even there. You're ready to just close the door on it sometimes and you're like, well, I don't necessarily need to visit it because it doesn't really serve me, and you know, I'm not into the whole like mumbo jumbo of like going in and doing my yoga and getting my meditations done. But for you, it's going to be something happening which is going to cause you to reflect a little bit back on this, and you could make great gains in regards to, you know, being in touch with that inner part of yourself this month when you do have this time, because like I said, you're not feeling over intuitive. You're not really, eyes on the future so much as you are eyes on today. But the inner self has you here doing what you're doing today for a greater purpose, for a higher good, for more reasons, right, than what you are actually kind of aware of or remaining conscious to. All right. We got a little Four of Swords here. So towards the end of November, Aries, it's going to be important for you guys to take time to recharge your batteries. You've been out there swinging haymakers, fighting the good fight, running the good race, but it takes its toll. It definitely takes its toll. And it's very important for you to find this inner center, or even, if you're just crashed out on the couch and maybe you've been watching like Shark Week or Discovery Channel or whatever it is that you guys are interested in that keeps you like kind of motivated to keep up the hard work every day. Sometimes it's good just to shut off, just to disconnect. And then that's when we can come back to that inner point, that center point. With the Four of Swords being here, this electricity, this electric grounding energy, if you guys are able to capitalize on it and you guys are able to remain in a good level of energy through your everyday 3-day mundane life, is this going to be great rewards for you, because this electricity that exists within you, Aries, it wants to bubble up, it wants to surface up, and it wants to like make you shine even brighter and be more bold than you already are, if that is even possible. But again, you guys press the threshold when it comes to that stuff. You're sort of the leaders, the go-to person. What do they call that? You're the clutch player. When the going gets tough, people look to Aries in the current timeline to come through for a win for the team. And it's like, you consistently don't let down, but it's important that you recognize within yourself when your energy is starting to fade, when your energy is starting to dwindle, that you go in, you plug back into stillness and that recharge, that retreat, that center of sanctuary, so that you can make sure, and it kind of grows exponentially. You fade back a little bit, and then it's like boom, then you explode back on the scene, and then you're doing very well. Okay. Right? And with that Four of Swords and now this oracle for you, just say no. Yeah, you know what to do. You know how it goes. You know the right way, you know the wrong way. You know why it is, and you know why things are not. You're not going to be challenged in this sort of way, but if people are coming to you, you guys are going to just straight up. Your yes is your yes, and your no's are going to be your no. And it could come off a little bit of strong, so you may have to like kind of instead of saying no, you can say, I know, but, and kind of explain things, being like, you are taking a logical, practical approach because you've seen these situations before, you've been in this energy, and you're just trying to help. And sometimes the best help you can offer, Aries, is actually telling somebody no. All right, so special message there just at the end for somebody. D. Cosmo, thanks for the support, for the super chat. That was really awesome of you. All right. two down, 10 to go. I'm not used to this format, but I'm really excited to do it, and I want to do more of this stuff for you. And thanks to everybody that's come in. All right. Catch up via Skype, via email, whatever you do, however you guys enjoy. I'm going to have a sip of the good old thank you water, and we'll get on to the next sign. Yummy. That's good stuff. All right. I'm not even taking requests. For which sign is next. All right. So here we go. Let's see what's up. Who's up next? Are we sticking with fire? No, we're not. We're not sticking with... this is... I think this is Capricorn. This looks like Capricorn to me. Or possibly Taurus. I think this is Capricorn. We're going to read for Capricorn next. It looks more like a goat than a bull to me. So this is kind of a neat little energy. Let's see what's going on with Capricorn. Now, being not an astrology buff, not an astrology junkie, these are simply tarot casts. You guys will probably know more in tuning into these readings about where the planets are and what they're doing and how they're assisting you and helping you and all that kind of stuff. But all I gotta say, Capricorn, is that we've looked at 2019 and we, the collective, have seen the difference between the awake Capricorns flourishing and blossoming and the unawake Capricorns struggling and fighting and basically doing the same old song and dance. It's like the person that, you like them, but every time you go there, they just play their favorite song on repeat, and you're like, God, this is try-hard music. This isn't even good.
Can we switch it up? Can we do something that everyone's going to enjoy rather than just being here to dance around you in a circle? And that's not for all Capricorns. I don't mean to pick on them, but I know they're struggling lately in terms of their connect, especially for the Capricorns, for those Capricorns that have really not stepped into their fullness of self or have given much credence to the awakening process. They can be a real handful at times. And I know that sounds a little bit judgy, but all I really am doing is going off the evidence from what we have seen, and what we intuitively can tell. On the other hand, Capricorns that are fully awake, they're fully engaged, and they're fully aware, their connectiveness is off the charts. They are connected, they are supporting community, they are engaged in sort of very authentic and deep levels. So it's very nice. It's very nice. And it's kind of like, if you were to meet a Capricorn for the first time, you may have a tough time, guessing their sign, even if you were like psychic or very intuitive to tell that this is a Capricorn, because, you wouldn't know. Like, you could guess like, wow, this person is so connected and never know they're connected. Or they'd be like, this person's acting like such a stick in the mud. I didn't expect that from Capricorn. Because, 2017 through 2019, there was a huge shift. It's almost like each sign, for both male and female, there was like a big division, because now we have characteristics and traits for people in the sign that are ascending and for people in the signs that are not, right? And those things, those timelines and that fork in the road is growing wider and wider apart every day, okay? So don't be fooled. Anyways, Capricorn, you're more than welcome here, and I do enjoy your reading. I love them too, absolutely 100%. So we got the cards well shuffled for Capricorn. Let's take it over to center stage and see what's going on. Capricorn, no need to toot your horn. I know I'm in traffic, you silly Capricorn. Here we go, Cappies. Let's have a look. Wishing you all the best in all things. Infinite blessings, everybody. Let's have a look and see what's going on. Capricorn. These are mid-November. It could be a month. It could be 2 weeks out. That sort of thing. All right. 5 of Cups reversed. But no regrets. Either way, Capricorn. You don't really give a rat's fat patootie about what other people are thinking about you at this time. It's a strong trait, but it can come off sometimes as like a little bit arrogant, as a little bit of like, ooh, look at Mr. or Mrs. Know-It-All right now, right? And that sort of thing. But it's okay. It's actually a very good energy to not get bogged down in the dogma of what other people think about you. And this is kind of what is catalyzing you or pushing you along the path right now. Keep this up. Keep this working for you. This is like, you don't break my stride. Don't tell me what I'm doing wrong or what I'm doing right, because I know dang well what I'm doing wrong and I'm doing right, and I don't need anybody else to sit there and tell me that it's one way or the other. I really appreciate it. You guys will also be finding the next 2 weeks are going by, and your sense of observation, the sense of sight itself, you're going to be very keen observers of the subtle things going on in the environment. And that's a very good energy to be in as well. If you can sort of help yourself along or make things a little bit easier for yourself just by honing in, it's almost like a spidey sense. It's like the keen observation that you guys are having working for you. It's like you would be able to like call a magician out. You'd be like, I know how you did that trick because I saw your hand. Or you might say like something like, hey, last Thursday when you passed a note to Jane under the desk, I saw that, Well, what did you mean by that? But anyways, it just lets me know that you guys are going to be like very keenly, your senses, especially that of observation, is going to be heightened through these next couple of weeks. You guys are feeling this energy, all right? And this is good to see here as well. This is a 6 of Swords now, straight up. Sorry, this was a 5 of Cups reversed. These Starman Tarot are very abstract. So I should remember to tell you what these guys' cards are. But this is a 6 of Swords, all right? And you see, this is a canoe that's about to go over the falls, but Buddy's going into it with courage and confidence. And again, it's springboarded from what we just said. It's like, I don't really care about what other people think, but there should be at least a little bit of knowingness in regards to consequential action or consequences of one's actions, I guess I want to say. But there's no need to change your course right now. You just need to prepare yourself to admit or accept
whatever comes your way as a result of what you've been doing. Whether it's for good or ill, it doesn't matter. You guys are following your heart. You may even feel like very divinely guided by spirit at this time, and that's okay. It's like this card is almost asking you, Capricorn, not to second guess yourself amidst some uncertainty, because the mind has a tendency to do that. And when we look at swords, we always look at the mind. Things that like can be very sharp, very poignant. It's like, you know, things that are given are easily cut away. And it's like you guys are the orchestrators or the manufacturers of that. It's like when you lose something, you know dang well what you did to lose it. And when you gain something, you are appreciative of your own hard work that it took to get you to the place where you obtained the level of success that you did. So this is kind of nice. And things should be getting easier. And it feels like we've almost been saying that for Capricorn now for like a few years. Don't worry, Capricorn, it's going to get easier. It's going to get better, you know, and this sort of stuff. But with the Six of Swords up here, I really do feel it is, it's a place where it's like, there could have been some trauma this year. There could have been some real blow-up type situations where now it's like everything is beginning to settle down for you a little bit. You're able to sort of rise up and stand out of like any kind of like tower moments or ashes that came your way. Dust yourself off and to be like, look, I know I'm all right. I know it's going to be okay, and I don't have to worry. But you kind of have to watch, you know, what you do blindly often has unforeseen consequences. And that's what I want to say with this Six of Swords. Okay, as well, for some of you, I do see pregnancy. For some of our Capricorn friends this month is very interesting in knowing that, or the desire to conceive is very strong at this time. Family planning, things of this nature, very important. Not for all of you, but for a few Capricorns that do tune in, that will be there. Okay. Progressing now into the Seven of Swords, right? All right. So it's like when you begin to think outside the box, sometimes, Capricorn, people get like upset about that. And you're just like, I was just trying to put forward a good idea. I was just trying to shine some light on something that nobody else has thought of before. But people can get their panties in a bunch sometimes, or they really get butt chapped to the fact that people try and divert from the old status quo. All right. And I don't, you know, that's kind of more of a political term, but the status quo is, in essence, is like the way things have always been, or the way we have always done things. And for you to come out and challenge fixed energy and to challenge the status quo and the dynamics of, you know, more rigid or regimented structures that surround your environment and your life, you're going to be really feeling like proclamation, like proclaiming, like, I'm tired of doing things the old way. I want to change. I want to do something new. I feel as though I'm being held back. So this thinking outside the box, it's a very healthy activity to do so, but it's like goes back to the sort of this game of life where it's like people tend to get concerned and worried about one-upsmanship, where it's like that might not even have been your intention, Capricorn, but by you kind of, you know, being a little bit more innovative over the next 2 weeks, you may end up like upsetting a few people that are just like, you know what, I'm tired of your song and dance. I see what you're trying to say. I'm just not with it. But that's okay. Because we'll go back to this card. It doesn't matter. If people want to part ways, or if people say, I can't hack this, I'm not going to do this, you're just going to say, fine, then go. It doesn't matter to me, because you know what? I earned the liberation that I take now to think as freely as I do. And it's actually a very nice energy, Capricorn. Okay? And now here we are now at the end of it with a Nine of Pentacles reverse. Okay? So for some of our Capricorn friends, this is going to be a couple weeks, or the next month is going to be one of a lot of activity, a lot of new growth, a lot of like breaking out of this box. This could be reflective of sanctuary and being like, I just got to get out of the house. I got to shift gears. I got to go put my head in a space where it's not the same old, same old. I got to go put my head in a space where it's like, I feel that I may be like obsessing over a project or a particular path for too long now. The Nine of Pentacles is a card of really asking you, Capricorn, what else do you like to do? What else brings you happiness? And it's like you'll take some time and you'll take that opportunity to kind of like get out of house, to get out of sanctuary, where we saw Aries just kind of like taking time to go in and recharge the batteries. Capricorn, it's kind of like the opposite is true for you. You're going to be feeling like, I need to go out and express. I need to go out and explore. I need to go on a bit of an adventure just to bring some balance back, because it does feel like everything lately has been a little bit headstrong. Everything has been a little bit of like, I got to get there. Like you're the little engine that could. I'm going to do it. No. Take a break. Go have a nice latte, or go to the zoo and pet a donkey, or whatever you need. Whatever's out of the ordinary, or out of like the thing you at least find your respect doing, go meet up with some friends and go do some interesting stuff. Okay. The grace of all time, right? Absolutely. Okay. And thanks, everybody. We're not a big crowd because, nobody can get their free reading. So it's not, but you are in essence. Thanks for being here, everybody. All right. This is for you, Capricorn. Don't forget to include yourself. Remember the Lego movie? Everything is awesome. This is everything is beautiful. And it's very true. Whether, we talked about the divisiveness of Capricorns that are awake or not, that appreciation of that which is beautiful around them and the beautiful way in which you convey yourself, that remains unchanging. And that remains as beautiful today as it was yesterday. And it is going to remain as beautiful tomorrow as it was today. But, in terms of this discernment or this dissemination, it's like when we label things as beautiful, sometimes what we see reflected in our environment can turn ugly. Or if we're busy out there being like, I can't accept that. That's ugly. I don't like that. I don't like that person. That's when the good people as well, they start to be like, nah, I'm taking a break from you too, right? You got to remember, for good or ill, behind it, everything is for this beauty, and it's not surface level beauty. It's like the essence that everything was created in perfection. Okay, so that recognition very strongly for including you, Capricorn. Absolutely perfect. You don't need to change a thing. You just have to be in this mental acceptance of like, these are my life lessons, and this is what I'm going through. Okay, absolutely. Go to the zoo, and it's just the message you needed. Well, that's wonderful, Tarot. Thanks for joining us. What's been done, y'all? Capricorn, Sagittarius, and Aries are in the books. Capricorn, Sagittarius, and Aries are in the books. All right. Go to the zoo. Dell was a jackass, much like a donkey. Absolutely. All right. Let's see who's next. Yeah, Capricorn. The greatest of all time. There they go. Let's see what's next here. Let's get in there. Let's get in there and rip something out. See who's next. Look at this. That's so funny. Because my cards, look at, one is Capricorn and one is Taurus. These are now we did two fires. But I've actually, now that we've done Capricorn, we have to do Taurus. But I had the little symbols mixed up. So they came backwards. But this reading is going to be for Taurus, which is nice. 2 fire signs and then 2 earth signs back to back. They are special messages, especially when the readers has special needs, so to speak. Yes, absolutely. We just read for the goat. Now we're going to read for the bull. We read for the ram, the goat, and the bull. It's like, Old MacDonald had a farm, and Bingo was his name. Oh, T-A-R-O-T, 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 and Tarot was his name. Oh, right? And Sagittarius, nobody. That's not a Magellan, not a. Oh, what were they called? Remember Hercules' buddy? Hey Herc. Centaur. The centaur. That was some bull. That was the bull-oney pony. No, Scorpio has not been done yet. We are currently about to read for Taurus. No need to ignore us or bore us. Now is the time for the reading of the sign of Taurus. All right? All right. Getting these cards mixed up. Horse. A horse is a horse, of course, and no one can talk to a horse, of course. That is, unless, of course, the horse is a famous Mr. Ed. I went to the source and asked the horse, and all right, okay, enough of that. Cards are some shuffle songs for you guys. Enough of that. We are going to read for a sign of Taurus. All right, taking it back to center stage. Hi, Crafty. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for being here. It's been a minute. Hope everything's okay across the pond. You let me know. Send me an email. Write me an Instagram message. Love to hear from you. All right. Mid-November into December now for sign of Taurus. Let's see. What's going on? What's going on? There you are, Taurus. Okay. What's got your world feeling a little bit upside down right now? You guys have been in a bit of a rough go lately, and I'm not sure if this has to do with physical health or this has to do with kind of like fleeting visions. I want to say fleeting visions of crowning achievements. And that can mean like kind of putting your stamp on success, I guess is what it wants to say. If you feel like a little bit of conflict by that, it's like, if you don't be down on yourself being like, I'm not successful, I have so much further to go. This card wants me to remind you, to let you know that you're beautiful, just like the Earth reading in Capricorn for your sign, and that you've arrived. There may be no need for you to go out or to continue fighting for your success based on a false belief of the fact that you don't believe that you've achieved success. You may feel like there is much more that you absolutely have to conquer. You absolutely have to have it done. You absolutely need to, be successful in these areas in life. And you place this unnecessary level of importance on it, which is kind of like the opposite of what the Empress does, which is why she's like here in reverse. I wish my camera would quit dancing. Why she's here in reverse, saying there's no need for you to worry about such things at this time. Worry can only detract from your level of happiness. But innately within mothers, like the Empress is, or within, the divine feminine aspect, worry is a natural, almost like it's somewhere between thought and emotion is what worry is. It's because our uneasiness of what we feel in our being kind of like translates to the mind as like, oh no, oh my goodness, oh, that's just not right, okay? Holy smokes, is that camera ever dancing for that Empress? But again, tend to matters of your physical health in these next 2 weeks. If you're feeling uneasy about things, if you feel like it's been far too long since you've like felt comfortable, whether it's like your whole self or a certain part of yourself, make sure to go get it checked out. Don't leave like health matters or health issues too long. There's always this fine balance between esoteric healing and actually what Western medicine can do for you. And don't put off things too long, where you can just go get it looked at, get a second opinion, get something of that nature taken care of, okay? All right, let's see. Hopefully this second card, as we add it, will smarten the dang camera up. Although these cards are so abstract, I feel like it doesn't even really matter. All right, Queen of Swords now up in your environment. Some of you could be dealing with an air sign, a Libra, Aquarius, all right, in particular. And this card is also a card of like kind of burning down the house when it comes to old knowledge. You guys might be putting some momentum behind ideas of taking that which you have learned and kind of archiving it, like putting it away, like deleting it, or stacking that old file folder, putting everything in there and just putting it way up on a shelf and being like, I don't need it anymore. I'm ready for a brand new, fresh start. This is a card of like purging things out of one's life, purging people out of one's life, getting rid of things like that big, sharp sword just there to being like, I don't need it anymore. I'm actually going to cut it down. And as well, for some of you, you might be looking at working at cutting your workload down, cutting your workload in half. Taurus, you're such an industrious sign where it's like, what is it? Work, or not the dwarves, but the doozers or the dozers. Like you just get stuff done because it comes back to this idea that you need to arrive at this point of success. But the name of the game from a philosophical point of view in your life journey, and I'm here to shed some light on it, is that you've already arrived. You are already far more successful in the eyes of collective than you could probably even realize. We appreciate you. We try our best to understand what you go through, Taurus, but at the end of the day, many of the other signs look up to the level of diligence, the level of success, the level of knowledge, and all these things, how you put it all together in this beautiful soup of success, and then you look at the soup and you're like, nah, it needs more salt. I wish I was more successful. It doesn't necessarily have to say, or I don't feel like I've lived up to my success, and those sorts of things. There's something coming along to do with wisdom, intellect, knowledge, putting it away, purging it out, and then beginning on new things. And these next 2 weeks, you're going to be putting some more thought or momentum into that. All right. Dang, that's a funky card. All right. This is Taurus standing on solid ground now here, but again, starting to open and feel the need for the appreciation of the intangible and the finer aspects of living, life, relationships, and exercises in spirituality is what I want to say. All right. Now, sometimes for that, we have to kind of like take these leaps of faith. We have to engage in our sense of play, and not play because it's mandated by what we do for work, but play just for the nature of play. So this is our Taurus being like a little bit more engaged, maybe even more musical, more creative, all this sort of stuff to show yourself that there's this whole other side of you that might have been buried while you've been looking at the current stuff that you've been very engaged in for long, that is just longing to come out of you, to come, to go, and to play. All right, it doesn't necessarily indicate travel or anything like that nature. It's just like you kind of look like ball and cup. Remember that old game of ball and cup? You just sat there in this mundane way with the ball and not the catamaran, not the taekwondo. What's that thing called? Well, I forget what it's called, but the ball and cup game. This is really a card about saying the expression coming out and for play. So for some of you, that could manifest in the way of like getting involved with community sports, getting involved in activities with your children, going out, coaching them, being more playful, and getting back into that sense of like, wow, I want to enjoy feeling like an 8-year-old. Feeling like a 6-year-old, feeling like a 10-year-old. No one's going to stop me, and I don't have to get down on myself, because this is not wasted time. This is actually important to my psyche, and it's important to my spirit to do these things. Because if I don't, the level of self-entanglement I feel within my own mind is just too much to bear. You don't want the briars and the brambles to become too overgrown so that you lose sense of the inner child. All right? And then here we go again. All right, air signs. Now Pisces playing into your reading for the next 2 weeks. Some of you could be dealing with a Pisces. It could be actually a very happy time, a very good time of compatibility for Taurus and Pisces. All right, and again, this could also manifest for some of our Taurus friends as certain levels of leadership struggle. All right, and why I say that is because the Hangman is here being like, well, if I'm supposed to be feeling like I'm already successful, yet I have trouble seeing that, or I have trouble feeling that, then what do I have to do to get there? What do I need to do? And all the Hangman is saying is that it becomes a point of liberation, freeing yourself to be less like the Hangman and more like the Princess of Cups, being like, you don't have to feel hung up on the norms of society or what the other people are making of your situation. The only thing that's important is what you make of the situation, and that's the only way that you can get it better. You don't have to be fated to like the designs of the community, the desires of the community, the fear of expectation of what is fashionable or what is acceptable or anything like that. As long as you cut yourself down from this idea that I have to be a mature, successful, responsible adult, that has been a little bit too one-sided for a little bit too long, Taurus. I definitely feel for it because that can be a tough thing in a fixed energy. But, again, you see what it does. It generates in terms of like, too much burden on your physical systems, on your health, right? Too much clutter within the mind. We see it in these cards where it's like the brushes have grown too thick and we got to just really like burn it down, purge it out, clear it out, cut it off or burn it down, whatever you need to. And when you do that, that's when the inner child is being like, it's not raining anymore, mommy. There's not a bunch of rose bushes in the front. I can just go and run and play and all that stuff. All right? So Taurus, there's kind of like a message in that card to being like, let it go. This idea of needing to do better for the design of society or the world, you guys are putting some momentum into finally like kind of getting over that hump of doing that, okay?
Absolutely. All right. Here we go. Here we go for the Oracle. It's nice that you guys, tarot readers alike. Thanks, tarot readers, for coming in. There's a lot of tarot readers come in, so that's awesome. Thanks for showing one another support. We've got to do another community appreciation weekend one day really soon. All right. All right, here we go, Taurus. Just go and dance, okay? Do the bunny hop jive, even if it seems old school, even if it seems silly. It's important for the psyche. It's important for the spirit to go out and get a little bit dancey with it, all right? There's no need for this level of strict professionalism 100% of the time. Just get loose, get charismatic with it, and again, with this 4, this is a number of Gaia. Feet firmly planted on the ground. Well, instead of that just being dug in and stuck in for momentum of forward progression, get firmly planted on the ground because, that's where you want to play. You want to sit down in the sandbox for a little while. You want to do that sort of stuff. All right? Where is the Ruchi? All right, so Taurus. 4 signs down, 8 to go. Again, thanks everybody for being patient. This is not a format I'm used to, letting you guys just do your own thing in the chat and only paying a little bit of attention. Totally new for me. But I'm hoping you guys are enjoying these readings. We got 8 left to go. And I was going to do them anyways, so I thought, why not turn the camera on and see what's going on? The thank you water is delicious. And it flows. It flows, and it's going to flow for a long time. I hope you guys are all finding your peace. Yeah, I'm down for some collaborations, Crafty. Desiree said, I should start hosting some, and I'm thinking, as soon as I have the ability, I'm gonna take your idea, get set up with that StreamYard. I'm gonna start doing some hosting. Oh, somebody called it. Somebody was asking for it. Here we go. Like toe tippy toe, now is the time for the reading of the sign of Scorpio. All right, so Scorpios, let's get them all shuffled up for you guys. As the sun transits very soon out of your sign, let's see what's going to be up for you guys mid-November, early December for sign of Scorpio. All right. I haven't seen Saruchi in a few days, to be honest. I don't know where she went. It's the good old thank you water. Absolutely. Flipper and a popper. A 5 of swords. Who knows? Who knows, right? Scorpio knows. Scorpio, they're gonna keep that little nugget of truth a secret, Scorpio. Is that what you're gonna do? Like you always do? You get a little insight, you get a little truth, and you're like, "Here, it's mine. I'm not sharing it with anyone." Maybe. Because like we spoke about with Capricorn, the same is also very true for Scorpio. 2017 came along, big division. You either woke up or you didn't, and it's like 2 separate spreading paths right now. So again, another one of these signs that becomes more difficult to identify as time goes on in the ages of Aquarius, as we begin to either identify with our awakened side or stay in the mundane and stay within the old paradigms. So hopefully many of you are, I know most everyone that comes here is on the right side of the paradigm shift, so I'm not too worried. But again, when we look at these general sun signs, you got to take that into consideration. 100%. Yeah, the Scorpios are kind of like, whatever, they felt the immunity of this month and this retrograde. They didn't feel the immunity of the retrograde. The retrograde affected the collective. It didn't matter. But Scorpio got a little bit of an immunity from the intensity, because that's the intensity that they're used to on the inside. So when the world outside gets that intense, they're just kind of like, I feel at home. I feel like all is right with the world. Even as wackadoodle as it is, it feels like everything's okay. Giving away the Scorpio secrets. All right, we got the Snuffleupagus. We're ready to go. Here we go, like toe tippy toe. Now is the time for the reading of the sign of Scorpio. All right, infinite blessings to everybody in the chat. Thanks again, everybody, for joining me. Let's see what's up for Scorpio. Mid-November, early December, Sagittarius season. Ooh, strange things are afoot at the water cooler. This, Scorpio, is about gossip. This is about jealousy,
which, is one of these traits that is associated with your sign that you need to be on guard for, all right? This is about the nature, that part of yourself that can really get in there and stir up some shit if you want to. And this card is kind of like a forewarning, being like, there's going to be a lot of opportunity to put people in their place or to tell people about other people's shortcomings and things of this nature. And you may just feel like getting in there full stinger out and just picking somebody apart. But you have to be very careful that if you're going to do that, you do that for the other person's best interest. You don't want to do any sidestepping or generate any bad karma for yourself, Scorpio, about going sort of behind or talking about somebody while they're not there, or making sure that you have all the facts before you're opening your yapper. All right, because there's consequences to this sort of stuff. Your brain knows it. This is just a bit of a forewarning to be like, in situations where you know better, err on the side of caution if you need to, or make sure you take the high road. You take the high ground for yourself and you just shut the hell up. You just like move on, because you do have that point of silence or secrecy about you, and you have to let that sort of triumph over what you would act impulsively on, maybe because you were getting back at somebody or somebody gave you the short end of the stick, and you feel like justly it's like their turn to get the short end of the stick. But really, is it your place to administer that beating stick, Scorpio? A lot of the times, it's really not. You should allow the things to play out so that other people will get their just dues from source, rather than you being that instigating factor. Because if you decide to become an instigator this month or the next 2 weeks, it's going to come back to bite you. All right. Seven of Pentacles up now for Scorpio. This is kind of an interesting card to see. I love the artwork of this card. Now, kind of the waiting game. And Scorpio, you've been playing this for a few months now. You know what this is all about. You know what utopia looks like. You know where you are now. And you know what kind of disaster you've been through or you've come from in the past. So this is appreciation of the present moment. This is about, again, look at putting your brand, putting your stamp, putting your own special spin on things. People appreciate it. People respect it. As long as you do it in this very humble fashion, this beautiful outpouring of vision that you're able to share with people is just like, it's uplifting, and you don't have to doubt it, and you don't have to worry about how you're being received at all in this place, as long as you've got that stinger in check. And you're not out there to like stir up shit. When you're just kind of involved and doing your own thing, look at this. There is prosperity. And it might not be immediate prosperity and abundance that shows its way when you're just kind of like hunkered down and doing your own thing and being in the grind. But you have this perfect little vision of utopia for your future, of where you want to be. You can keep it to yourself or you can share it with others. But all I was saying is like, get in there and maybe commit a little bit deeper. Don't do things in your life that you start kind of half-assed or half-step them, because you just end up wasting time. And this is kind of that awareness piece to it. While you're patient, you could like do a little of this, do a little of that, do a little of the other thing. But you should really, Scorpio, maybe decide to like just pick one. And just go for that one, because there's so much that you want to do, and I see that. And there's just sometimes not enough time to get it all done, and you can become like so engaged or so entangled with one thing that you have to resign or give up on the idea that you're going to be able to accomplish the other thing. But yet you still try sometimes, and that can be very difficult. Right now, the best advice I can give you for the next couple of weeks, Scorpio, is just relax. Just settle into it, whatever it is. Even if it's hard work, settle into it. If it's a time of rest and relaxation for you, make sure that you're enjoying it to the fullest extent and the fullest possible way that you can. Here we go again. Scorpio and Leo sitting in a tree. Karma, karma all day long, right? Here's the card of Leo, but it's also the card of strength. This is a card about awareness. This is a card about your personal power. Even like, you're a powerful person, Scorpio. You know that, if there's a crowd full of people and you walk in your full strength and your fullness of self, people move to the side. They'll get out of your way. And then you could be like smelling your armpits being like, oh my God, did I forget to shower? Did I forget to put on deodorant? Well, no, you didn't. You smell just fine. But people are a little bit taken aback sometimes. When you come correct and when you come full, Scorpio, you please do not underestimate the amount with which you actually stand out in the crowd. The amount with which you actually can say something, can do something. And people are like, OMFNG. Did they really just do that? Did they really just say that? That just blew my mind. That just made my day. That just wrecked all of my preset notions of things. And it's like, so you're kind of, it's not that you need to watch or hold back at all with this strength card. It's just, I want you guys to really appreciate and be in remembrance of how strong you can actually be, especially if you're experiencing moments where you feel weak or you feel kind of pushed under, or perhaps you feel a little bit like, minute or small in a great big universe or in a great big world, that there's not much you can do. Recognize the amount of strength that you have and use it towards discipline and towards finishing up and the level of completion that you want. Even though it's going to be very hard for you to push ahead these next 2 weeks, this is about inner work. This is about taking care of yourself and just about like moving with a sense of purpose and moving with a sense of pride, even though it may feel like, well, I got to wait till February or March anyways before I know that this is an absolute go ahead, or before I'm able to commit fully to something, right? It's a bit of limbo, but it's asking you to be strong through this and actually just help other people along the way, because when you have the strength, you might as well just use it. Okay, now we got a Hangman reverse. So Scorpio is interactive. Again, we've got Pisces on the board, we've got Leo on the board, and that's all right. With this Hangman reverse, this is about kind of catalyzing or springboarding your journey. Although we just mentioned about being in limbo, when that happens, we have a very good ability to get in and do some of this inner work and really recharge the batteries. Wherever you go, that's where you are. And sometimes when there's no place to go, you really just resign your fact that you're going to create something amazing where you're at right now, or you're going to like kind of reform or strategize how you're going to do things, and hopefully you're not too locked up in your head about it with this Hangman reverse. But it's also about sharing ideas. It's about seeing new perspectives and being able to provide new perspective to other people who may be struggling in your environment, whether this is a coworker, someone you share your love with, a family member, anybody that is like struggling to see things in a new way, or just kind of like posing to you this is the same old query, the same old question. It's like you're going to come up with creative ways to like be powerful, be strong, be helpful, insightful, and to be more so like look at like superhero mode, right? Which is kind of nice. Nobody, very rarely, maybe a Leo, maybe a Taurus, but you are one of these signs that can really endure hardcore things in life. And I know that wasn't articulated very well. I'll try again. You have this ability to endure adversity that has come even on a consistent or a frequent level. And what it does is it kind of like takes you, Scorpio, and it refines you as a diamond. It adds all this pressure, Scorpio. And then all of a sudden one day, you know how that transformation is. You pop and you're new. You're made new again. But you did that. The environment did that, but it's almost like you sent out a request to be like, all right, I'm going to jump in the pressure cooker here for a little while. Let's see how much better I can become. If I arrive at what I feel like is the best version of myself, is there a next step? Is there a next level to all of this? And the Hangman is kind of like, when you've got that time to consider, how much there is to consider when we stop to consider how much there is to consider, right? So Scorpio, use that deep, deep philosophical mind and all of that power that you carry with you. You don't like to use it too often, but remember that it's there and enjoy it when you are in harmony and you have a little bit of time to express yourself. All right? Bazinga. Again, we can't overlook the level of direct intelligence applied by Scorpios. Like you guys are like the surgeon, the brain scientists, and the rocket surgeons of the zodiac. Like the Sheldons, the actual like, wow, are you a train nerd, or do you really just like hang out and write out quadratic equations and figure out the molecular composition of whatever it is? Like, get in there, do your thing. I feel this is really related to that Seven of Pentacles that's there in your reading. It's time to go deeper. Even mentally, it's time. You can challenge yourself even more a little bit. All right? So, Scorpio. That was awesome. That was fun. All right. All the best, Scorpio. I wish you the best the rest of November. All right, Dusty Blue, welcome into the chat. Megan's here. That's cool. We have such an interesting crowd. Every time I press the live button, I never know who's going to show up, and each time I do, it like takes on a consciousness of its own, and it's very cool to see all the, what do the REM say? The shiny, happy people holding out or standing out. Shiny, happy people that have come. Very excited to see you all here. All right. Whew. That was like, what was that? 5 readings down the hatch. Speaking of down the hatch, one of the best things you can put in your hatch is the thank you water. It has that special anti-aging ingredient. Remember, when you think water, think thank you water. The 99.9 promotes it all the time. All right. Hey, Dusty. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming out. All right. Any guesses as to who is Nexus? Any guesses as to who is Nexus? Let's see. I hope I got all 12 in here. I haven't like dug in here for quite a long time. And if your name's Doug, I'm sorry. Let's see. Who's next? Aquaman, Aquaman, does whatever the water can. Can he swim like a fish? Does he eat all his dish? Look out, there comes the Aquaman or lady. Time for Aquarius, okay? There's no need to be nefarious or even try to step in and marry us. Now is the time for the reading of the sign of Aquarius. All right, we dip into the water and then we come back up for a little bit of air. All right, and that's good. All right. All right. Can't say enough good things about our friends in Aquarius. The God-given talent, the outward portrait of beauty, the kindness, the gentle answer that turns away wrath. So many strong points or signs in Aquarius, but yet so confusing and sometimes so confused. Okay, so and that's just that, you know, if I could reach out there and just touch every Aquarius, I'd be like, here's some root chakra healing energy. And you get root chakra healing energy. And you get awareness about what needs to be done in the root chakra. And you're going to begin to feel a little bit more grounded. And that's kind of how I would, if I could just reach out and touch all the Aquarius. Not in a creepy way, of course. But you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm insane. All right. Good stuff. All right. I think our cards are well shuffled. Let's give them a little knock. Keep things adoration. Adore. I a window Aquarius energies. All right. Here we go, Aquarius. Wishing everybody that's come in the chat the best in all things: peace, prosperity, joy, bliss, abundance, happiness, health, humor, honesty, all the good stuff, authenticity. We appreciate you all. And Aquarius, here's your mid-November reading. All right. There it is, Princess of Swords. Scorpio just had this as well. Let's see what we can glean in on this. Wow. So this is about structure in your life, Aquarius. This is about the composition, the makeup, where you've come up into this point. You could find yourself, Aquarius, the next 2 weeks really evaluating some of, I don't want to say this, it's about structure and stature and status within society and within living. It's kind of like with everything wrapping up to the marble chrysalis and the Kwanzaa Hanukkah season, it's kind of like, it's this very special time. I see you guys being like very generous, and I see you guys wanting to do the most amount of good that you can for the most amount of people, but it's almost as if you realize that your hands are a bit tied. This Princess of Swords wants me to tell you in her message to sometimes to not to feel guilty about putting yourself first and putting your family and putting your loved one first when it's absolutely necessary. It's impossible to be in 7 different places all at the same time. And even though 6 of those people all need help, the one that needs it the most is the one that you've given your heart and you've given your promise to. Be very wary of broken promises or double booking yourself or promising somebody one thing knowing that it might be difficult for you to do it. So just make very sure if you have to remain a little bit aloof, I mean, and that's in your wheelhouse anyways, you don't have to commit instantly to everybody all the time, especially even though how much you want to, because you are in a very kind frame of mind right now. This is all about helping out. This is all about wanting to do the best. And when that thing about structure, it's kind of like that is how you've structured your isness, especially for our awake Aquarian friends over the last little while. You identify with this helper type persona, this helper type energy. And that's good, and that's fine. But sometimes you got to take a step back and you say, well, you know what? I need to help myself for a little while. So if I disappear, if I retreat, if I decide that, I'm not going to be as apparently strong and forthcoming as you know me to be, please understand. And if you have to explain that to people, then go ahead. Because in regards to communication, the Princess of Swords here, especially until the Mercury retrograde is done, is going to be you have to make sure that you're listening very carefully to what other people are saying, to the needs of others, and listen to what you are in essence conveying or communicating in others within groups or to somebody very close to you in very authentic, very real conversations. Sometimes it's very hard to what I said, listen to yourself. But you really need to be in touch with what you're conveying. Things like subtle body language and things like that. It's your innate desire to help out. But don't do it at the cost of taking away from your happiness and your structure of your family and your life and things of that nature. Okay? Hangman's up here again. Wow. Did we not shuffle and cut these cards? Holy moly. All right. So what I feel about this is Aquarius, this is asking you, time to come in for a landing. Time to bring the plane down just a little bit. This is, especially for us in the Northern Hemisphere, a time to hunker down and to be nesting and things of that nature. I know there's a lot you want to accomplish, a lot you feel that needs to get done. At the end of the day, it's if you're facing any kind of deadlines or worried about, your levels of performance within workplace situations, it's remember, a lot of these times we put these they're phantom fears on top of the expectation that we feel. If the cards are stacked against you, or if you feel like the deck is stacked against you, Aquarius, there is no shame in going to a point of resignation to be you know what, I withdraw, I pull out, I concede, I quit. Yeah, they say nobody likes a quitter, but if you're doing it out of self-preservation, then hey, there's nobody that can stand there and tell you that you're wrong. There's nobody that can stand there and tell you that you shouldn't. There's no one that can be all about your energy and try and put conviction in your heart about something that is not even realistically there. So don't subscribe to that whatsoever. All right? Thanks, Hangman. Because look at the reward. This is nice. We just talked about it. Shiny, happy people holding out. Hold on to the people you share your love with, Aquarius. Make time for them. Make them a priority. Make them the one and only thing that you even want to do. If you're doing something and it's not with them, you're not going to feel like doing it. You want to come back into the centerfold of platonic love with your family and with your people and the unconditional levels of love that come along with family platonic love. This is the 10 of Cups. So this is huge. Make time. And if you're single, for our Aquarian friends that are single, this 10 of Cups is very much about back to this self-preservation, self-care, and get blissed out in any way that you know how, because you've been working so hard and you've been doing the dance that the man has asked you to do. And sometimes you could have been you guys don't necessarily struggle when it comes to getting what you want, but sometimes it's the feeling is why does it seem to take so long? Why does it seem that something that comes so easy to other people takes so long for me to get there. And it's because you play the polarity, you play the yang to the script on a lot of this stuff, because you're center stage right now. We are in the age of Aquarius, and this, when we look at this from a spiritual and awakening perspective, this is about you receiving enlightenment and health and healing in all of its forms as we continue on this physical journey where we all eventually get old and shrink, all our teeth fall out, and we shrivel up, right? But it's along the way, the spirit grows and it becomes prosperous and it becomes enlightened. So it's like weighing the balance of these two things. So make sure when bliss is at your doorstep that you emotionally express, that you cry when you feel like crying, you laugh when something is funny, even if it may not even be politically correct to laugh, but you find it funny, just go ahead, let it out. Don't live in any kind of phantom fears this month, especially, and be recognition of them if they do come your way, right? All right, and then the Queen of Wands reverse, right? Yeah, and again, this just goes to reiterate the message that I gave to you with this card. Is this like, make sure and choose wisely where you lend your support to, because if you try to do too much, if you know deep down that you're incapable of getting everything done on the to-do list, then you might have to actually tell some people, like, this is not going to happen. This is not going to get done. I have better priorities. I have bigger fish to fry. I have better birds to love. I have all of this stuff on the go. And I'm sorry, you're important to me. I appreciate you. And I want to work together with you for the common goal. But I'm sorry, if you're number 2 on the priority list and I only have a day here, then, so make sure you don't get double booked, Aquarius. That's what I'm saying here. And don't get down on yourself about the fact that sometimes you may have to tell people, I just can't right now. I just don't have that ability right now. It's, even though, you could be Superman or Wonder Woman and go out and do it, nobody's telling you to run yourself ragged in doing so, okay? Okay, oh, Tati had to leave. Okay, bye, Tati. Such and very, all right. Sunshine and lollipops, rainbows and gummy drops. Okay, this is kind of nice. This is a 3 and an 8. So what does that make it 11? So this is a 2. Yeah, this is about the decisions. Okay, this is an oracle about decisions. Are you going to, maybe you don't even feel like you have time to partake or imbibe, and make sure that you're not wasting your time in anything that's like, leaving you feeling hungover the next day, or you gotta be aware of like wanting to go into party mode in knowing like you don't want to go out and like cancel plans or tell somebody that you're short and you're not able to make it, but then go out and like, just live so carefree. Make sure that you're getting this level of involvement, with the family. It's going to be a good couple weeks for you guys, Aquarius. I really think so. But, you guys have this innate, beautiful ability to come through when times are tough or when the chips are down, and people respect you for it. But make sure that they know, like, you can't be, sometimes you have to be Clark Kent or Lois Lane. You can't be Superman and Wonder Woman all the time. So don't be afraid to get into your alter ego and just be regular, and, make sure that you're accepting the care that's coming in from your loved ones as well, All right. Sunshine and lollipops, rainbows and gummy drops. That was an interesting oracle. We're using the Oracle of E just to keep things a little bit lighthearted, because these they are just like bi-weekly, like 2-week stuff. And take what resonates. They're general readings. Take what's resonating. Kick the rest to the curb with the old kitty cat. All right. All right, what's next? Who's next? Eddie, is anyone even watching this stuff? I don't know. I just wanted to do this, so thanks for coming along. I should be back next Thursday. I'm hoping when I get done into a regular routine, I want to actually set up a calendar so where it's like Monday is moderator appreciation, Tuesday is first time callers, Thursdays is super chat only, Wednesdays is free oracles, Sunday is like zodiac signs or whatever. I'm hoping to find some structure eventually one day, but no, Cancer has not been done. We have done Scorpio, Sagittarius, Aquarius, Taurus, Aries, Capricorn. Those ones have all been done.
Aquarians, you're right, Dusty. Aquarians are amazing artists. They make wonderful, wonderful stuff. Absolutely. All right, let's see who's next as we reach deep into the bag. Haha. You called it, and you called it, and you got it. It is time for Cancer. You were looking for the answer? Pose a question, you will get a Cancer. It is time for the reading for Cancer. All right, so let's get the cards shuffled up. All right. Rainbows and lollipops. Such a vision here. The Robotic Church. Look up the Robotic Church. I think I'll do that, Dusty. The Robotic Church. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. It's good stuff. Rainbows and lollipops. Looks like everybody was timed out nice. Like Tati came, and then we did the Taurus reading. Then Ange came, and we did the Cancer reading. As I was looking for the word, this jumped out, and I was like, well, what sign are we on again? Yes, thanks, Tara. We are reading what are the messages for Cancer for the last 2 weeks in November. Next 2 weeks for Cancer, please. Next 2 weeks for Cancer. All right, here we go. The cards are well shuffled. Let's have a look. Center stage for you guys. Wishing you all the best, as always. Peace, love, and tenderness. All right. There we go. All right, Cancer, let's see what your messages are. I'm excited for this one. You guys. All right, here we are. The Knight of Swords. Wow. And with that Chariot that bumped out, like these 2 weeks are going to go by like nothing. We're losing especially where I am at, we're losing 2 minutes of sunlight each and every day. Like the days are getting shorter as we get towards winter solstice up here in the northern hemisphere. And what it does, Cancer, is it gives the illusion that time is moving by so fast. Sometimes it feels like there's not enough time in the day to get everything done that you want to do. But this card comes with a bit of a warning, being like, you have to watch out for anything that is self-destructive that you do, either in the 3D reality or perhaps any kind of thinking or getting down on yourself. You have to watch about getting tripped up on issues of the mind, because with the Knight of Swords, the way this is, it's almost as if sometimes you become so headstrong on it that it's like, I've made up my mind. Nope, that's what I've decided. It didn't feel right, or I didn't like it, or too much time has gone by and I'm done. You almost go full Queen of Swords before it actually requires you to cut things out of your life. Sometimes, Cancer, and for this 2 weeks, you have to be a little bit careful about cutting people out or cutting things out of your life prematurely. Sometimes it's best to let things be, to hear people out before you absolutely, and I know you guys, it's not that you do it fully, but you definitely set your boundaries very tight sometimes. And again, with this, what this Prince of Swords is asking is you want to make sure that you're hearing all sides of the story before jumping to any conclusions. All right, this is going to be a grounding couple weeks for you as well, even though it's moving by very quickly. This is also, Cancer, a strong time for you in expression and in spiritual practice, whether that's righteousness, ritual, whatever it might be. This is a very strong time to engage with those things. Okay, and it's you might find yourself, and I don't know what this means, but it's you're blowing the door open on something, or it's you're kicking down the door on someone, or you're being very forceful, you're being very assertive, you're being even borderline aggressive to the point of just I need to have this, I need to get this done. And that's fine. If that's what's suiting you, now is a good time to make gains. But you just kind of have to watch that you don't burn any bridges these next couple weeks, I guess is what I'm wanting to say. Okay? Now, Four of Wands is up here as well. So you guys should be in that continued position where you're aligning
with synchronistic happenings. This is like people coming through like just at the right time, kind of just how Ange came in and said, is this the Cancer reading? And I'm like, reached into the bag and randomly it was the Cancer reading right there. The synchronicities are going to be continuing. They're going to be abound. They're going to be abundant for you. All right. And again, something's being torn apart for you in this next couple weeks. And I'm not sure what this is, whether you're ripping up old contracts or you're like giving away like a lot of things to either charity or to people. You're parting ways with like older possessions and things that bog you down. Kind of much like Taurus, it could be a bit of a purging time for you. This is as well, when we look at this as the nesting time, this is about you like taking care of sanctuary. I see people introducing like new things, like new furniture, new ambient like art, things like that into their sanctuary. Purchasing things that help you feel good and help you create sacred space for yourself, for your well-being, and all of this sort of stuff. For some of our Cancer friends, they could be attending parties, weddings, ceremonies, baby showers, all that kind of stuff. The get-togethers is going to be involving Cancer quite strongly here at the end of this month. And I don't really even know, these could even just be like early Christmas parties or Thanksgiving dinners. I think in the U.S. you guys have your Thanksgiving up, so there's going to be a lot of that. You're going to be heavily involved with family and community and the gifting of that Thanksgiving season and the marble chrysalis. You're going to be feeling quite festive, and you're going to feel like decorating. You're going to feel like expressing it, and you're going to feel like showing it, all right? But don't hurt anybody during Brown Friday, okay? That's what this says. Don't hurt anybody during Brown Friday. You're going to get the deal. Don't worry about it. You definitely will, all right? Oh, the 4 and the 3 of Wands now is up here, okay? So this is about expanding your belief system and your belief structure now. Wow. I saw it a little bit earlier. Remember what I said? Like, you're going to be kind of like coming to terms or being involved in acts of rhythm, righteousness, and ritual. Because what's going on here, I feel, Cancer, these next couple of weeks is like an expansion of your belief system. You're going to incorporate something in that you like learn about or you find out about, and it really is going to resonate true for you, and it is going to happen in a very synchronistic fashion, and then you're going to take it on. You're going to be very explorative. You're going to be very in a position or a point of desire to wanting to be all about it, to wanting to know all about it. For some of you, this just could be like increasing your health regimens, your health routines, working out. For others of you, it's going to be like, I had no idea that, you know, this practice existed in this culture and it just feels so right for me. So then you immerse yourself into it and you jump into it. It feels good and it feels right, and it expands your awareness, expands your consciousness, and like I said, there's an expansion coming to your belief system with this 3 of Wands. It's a very beautiful thing that some of our Cancer friends are going to be experiencing when it comes to their spiritual world and their life. And it's only fair, right? The love you take is equal to the love you make. Major life force energy, number 11, the Justice here to finish up your reading. Cancer, some of you could be involved with a Libra. This is all about give or take. This is about understanding each other at face value, okay? It doesn't have to be a Libra, but this is about understanding the person that your intention is set on at face value, okay? And this is as well, understanding that, you know, when you thrive on the convictions of the heart that you make, like you're not going back, you're never going to go back, and all these things, you may be tested or you may come into certain karmic situations where not necessarily via the same person or the same exact situation, but things of similar nature being out there almost tempting you or inviting you to be like, all right, well, you put the hammer down on this. Are you silly enough to walk into a similar situation? So make sure, let your convictions kind of be your talisman or your guiding light at this time. But, you know, don't trample anyone on Brown Friday. Don't hurt anybody along the way. And I don't know why this is coming out, because it's just kind of like, you know, you may find yourself that you're just like very short with people. You're very quick to discern. You're very quick to disseminate over these next couple of weeks. about what's right, what's wrong, and it's like you're not seeing it any other direction. So it could come across as like maybe a little bit selfish, but that's okay. You're doing you. You don't have to worry too much about that stuff. But the fairness, let your future actions be equal to the justice that you have provided for yourself in the past. If that makes sense, Cancer. Sorry, I was looking up straight down on your cards. All right? So that's for Cancer for the next couple weeks. Very interesting stuff. Oh, I see Christina here. Hi, Christina. Welcome. Thanks for coming in. We'll just get an oracle out for Cancer, and then we'll musing right along. And I did the Sagittarius reading when Rebecca came. It's interesting how that went, right? All right. Over your shoulder, right? No need to look over your shoulder this week, all right? You're going to be facing straight ahead. It's going to move fast. You're going to be moving fast, and the days are going to go by fast. So you're going to kind of grab that sweater, quick, throw it over your shoulder, out the door you go, just in case you get a little bit chilly later. But this is very much about there's no need to look back right now, Cancer. There's no need to look over your shoulder. There's nothing from your past that can hurt you. You've established the convictions from your experiences of the past. Now take that light and shine it towards the future. Okay? Oh, alrighty then. Thanks for coming out. All right. Thank you, water is the best. Thank you, water, put you to the test. Thank you, water, don't worry about the rest. Thank you, water, I have to manifest. That's the little jingle from the people at Thank You, Water. Welcome, Beirut. Thanks for jumping in the chat. Queen of Swords, Queen of Swords. All right. Oh, we got to see who's next. Resonate now. What's up now? Don't look back. Watch out, baby, who's that? Don't look now, there's a monkey on your back. I think that was George Michael. All right. It's not even a duo, a quattro, or a trio. Now is the time for the reading of the sign of Leo. Time for Leo, everybody. You're most welcome. Thank you, Anne, for showing appreciation. That's awesome. I know. This is one of those few days where I'm feeling musical. I don't always feel musical, but when I do, it's every day. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Absolutely. I was looking at another program. I think it was called Audacity, because I wanted to do some live streams where it sounds like my voice is actually coming through an AM radio or like an old military 2A, like Vector Charlie, come in, Jebbish, after, over. The auto has an echo reverb. Did anybody else notice that? Please let me know if anybody else is struggling with the audio tonight. I was playing around with the sounds earlier. But it seems like that the way people are interacting in the chat, that everything's fine. Oh, and you also have to remember, Drippin' in Ice, that when I'm doing the readings, that I'm not the source. The information comes through me. So sometimes there is subtle inflections on my voice. It's my mic. Hello, testing, 1, 2. 1, 2, testing, 1, 2. Oh, is the mic off tonight? Oh, yikes. Yikes. We better figure this out. We better figure this out. Let me just have a look. I might be able to fix it right now. I might have a filter on. It just does echo a lot. Okay, hold on. Thanks for letting me know. Maybe I have a filter on here. No filters on. Interesting. But it's different than usual? Oh, okay. I wonder if we did something. Wrong here. That's not going to fix it. Add me in the list. I missed that yesterday. Video capture device, media source. Desktop audio input capture. That's interesting. We can all hear you fine. It's just got a cool effect. Oh, okay. On the list. All right, I'll if it's not bad, if it's bearable, you guys, I'll just keep going then. But thanks for letting me know. I appreciate that. All right. We're not doing personal readings tonight, Pandu, but if you stick around until the end, I can pull an oracle card for you, because I do know you came in late last night, and that happens, and we did miss you. But I might be able to pull an oracle card. But right now we're reading for the 12 signs.
Alrighty. And thanks for saying hi to everybody. It's clearly about you. So thanks for saying hi to everybody. That's awesome. It's all about the way you vibe. We are tribe. All right. Keep on keeping on. All right. That's like you're entitled to it, right? You're entitled to it. We didn't even... Oh, yeah, it's Leo's next. That's right. Leo's next. Here we go. All right, I think the cards are well shuffled. And sorry for the audio problems. I wasn't even aware. Nobody told me off the start. And if they did, I probably would have just berated them and said, hey, fix your computer. Mine's fine. But then I remembered I was screwing around earlier, and I probably did something. Wishing you all the best in all things. All right, here we go. Leo, a Two of Wands reversed now. It's kind of interesting. I've seen this card a bit now. You kind of have to be careful, Leo. Sometimes you really get into a funk about the way things are, and it can cause you to lose sight of how far you've come, I want to say. It's kind of similar to the Taurus reading. But this Two of Wands lets me know that you're feeling stuck a little bit, Leo. It's tough for you to see a little bit of purpose or any kind of progression right now. It's almost as if you're struggling with it a little bit. Like, times are tough. Some of you could be manifesting in like wishing you had a better job, or like, how is the job search going? Wanting to find something that provides a little bit more, or something that makes life a little bit easier. It's like you're facing quite a bit of adversity right now. And I feel the reason for it is because it's like, you've kind of decided that you, at some point through the year, that you were going to take an easier road. You were going to take a path of least resistance. But that path, just like everything else, and you're seeing signs of it here coming up at the end of November, and we get close, it's like least resistance sometimes means less reward. So if it's like kind of more rewarding stuff that you're seeking, you may have to get stuck in. You may have to dig in a little bit deeper to really be able to extract and withdraw, what you want or what you're looking for as a reward, whether that's love, whether that's prosperity, whether that's just happiness or abundance. What it's going to take is for you to put yourself into a better situation, or for you to make the necessary changes, Leo. Nobody else is going to step up and do that for you. And normally you do these kinds of things for yourself, but as of late, it feels like it's been a little bit tough. You've been a little bit stuck, and it's been mostly like some subconscious things that have gone on, where you've resigned yourself to say, I'm just going to accept it for another day. Oh, I'll just take it for another day. I wish things are better, but they're just okay, so I'm just going to leave it be for another day. But before too long, another day turns into another week has turned into another month, and another month has the potentiality now to turned into another year, and you guys are becoming into a state of more conscious awareness of this, because we are drawing closer to the marble chrysalis and the end of the year. Okay, happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah. All right, not many moons to go until this time. And with the moon here, Leo, Pisces could be playing into your reading as well. Pisces absolutely feeling that social side of things now. And this card has got me questioning like how social you're actually feeling. It's kind of like up and down. Sometimes you feel like, wow, I really want to get in there. I really want to live it up. I really want to do my thing. But at the other times, it's like you feel like, well, it would be irresponsible for me in regards to my resources and what do I want to do. It's almost like there's this polarity or this division coming from your thought processes or you in deciding like, I could do that, but is it really going to make me happy tomorrow? Do I want to spend a bunch of money and then feel regret for it tomorrow? Or am I really just going to, sit here in hermit mode and not do anything and let some more time pass by? And you might have this like innate feeling like you should be out there. You should be doing more. You should be engaged at least on something that leaves you like out from under the Netflix blanket. All right. And the moon has a lot to do about things like our screen time, the illumination that comes from our screens, albeit television, laptops, smartphones, all this kind of stuff.
This is asking more so to be like, the answer you seek, I feel, Leo, is kind of like more defined in nature. It's like you may be even being asked to like loosen up your strings in terms of how like prudent you are. You may just need to have a little bit of fun. You may need to let that wildcat out. Like, you don't have to sit there all prim and proper, kitty. You can just go absolutely beast mode and have some fun, be playful, express yourself creatively, sexually, all these kinds of things. Major life force energy, the moon here in your reading. All right. A Nine of Cups reversed, yeah. Because fulfillment is the main issue. Happiness and fulfillment is the main issue here. It's very difficult to get that big smile on your face when it's like you feel like, wow, especially for our single Leo friends, like you feel almost as like, well, I painted myself into the corner. How the hell am I going to get out of it? Or what am I going to do to make myself happy when it seems like everything I try to make myself happy is inevitably just fleeting. It just leaves. It comes and then it goes. It comes and then it goes. And for you guys being one of the most karmic signs in the entire zodiac, when it comes to your happiness and your fulfillment, it can feel like a real struggle sometimes to make it like it lasts so that you hold on to it, right? And for the next 2 weeks, what I want to let you know is that you should be taking pleasure and satisfaction in the small moments, the little things, and in the subtle. If you're picking out a gift for a friend for Thanksgiving or Marble Chrysalis or Brown Friday, really take your time, go out and enjoy the day and make a day of it. You don't need to just rush right out, do that thing, rush right back, and then, what's on Netflix again? Or, what are we doing? What's next? You're meant to maybe spend a little bit more time out of the comfort bubble so that you can recognize in the small things and in the subtle that the journey doesn't have to be an epic. It doesn't have to be a Harry Potter. It doesn't have to be a Lord of the Rings style journey. It can just be a trip to the park, to the mall, that you take your time to fully immerse yourself in the joy in the act of doing the small things, and you can pull in some satisfaction and you feel like your day was fulfilled. And it doesn't have to feel fleeting, because on some level, Leo, these cards want me to let you know each and every day there's fulfillment. There's a world out there for the taking. So I would warn against hermit mode for our Leo friends in this time. If you get a chance to get out, jump in your boyfriend's rice rocket or on the back of a motorbike, or go for a tour at Six Flags or a roller coaster ride, absolutely go out and do there. Get the endorphins in your brain pumping, get the adrenaline going, whatever it takes, Leo, because the essence is that the stuck feeling that you have more control over it than what you're giving yourself credit for. Okay? And Page of Cups. Yeah, just asking you, what's it going to take to make you happy? What's it going to take to make you feel fulfilled? You don't necessarily have to go anywhere. You don't have to go on some big inward journey or some big epic tale of hobbits and dwarves and elves or anything like that. It's simply the recognition that your happiness is a direct result of the control that you have over how you receive what you're taking in through your 5 senses and more, okay? Really take the time to feel, to listen, to see, to touch, to feel. And that could lead, like I said, to big breakthroughs in creativity and even sexual prowess at this time. And Kitty, I don't have to go on and on with that about you on a PG-13 kind of show, but beast mode does sound nice. Absolutely. Okay, so that was for our friends over there in Leo. Thanks, Leo, for being. We'll get you an oracle card too. All right. Well, that's a flipper. There it was. Entanglement. Oh, what draws you in? What is, if you're feeling lonesome, Leo, if you're feeling kind of bored and apathetic, we always warn about creating more karma for ourselves, but sometimes it's about just reaching out there and making a new connection, jumping on, going for coffee with a stranger on a meet and greet, or be safe, of course, but absolutely go out and happen to the world. Don't wait for life to happen to you. Don't try to experience the world vicariously through a million little things on TV or one of them other ding-dong programs. Just do that kind of stuff. All right.
Wow. Oops. I'm going to shove that one back in the deck. That's okay. I was pulling the oracle cards out so that because these are just the lighthearted oracle of e-oracles, and I wasn't hoping that I was leaving them out so that no two signs would get the same oracle, but I accidentally shoved that one back in. All right. So, I'm going to take a sip of the water. Yummy. It's good stuff. And I appreciate the water whenever it comes, the waterways. All right. Well, thanks for that, Tarot. It did feel like an amazing message. This stuff, when it comes through, it's like, it's meant to be there. I have full trust in it. And that's kind of a nice thing to know as a reader, where it's like, you step aside from the channel message in full trust. You know, that was a great thing that I found, like, doing the live format this year, that I was really shaky off the start back in April and May doing these things. But now it's like, I don't have to worry because there's this trust of it, right? E-oracles? Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to be e-oracles. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I can't even think of a good rhyme for this sign. No matter where you go, ergo, or here you go, it is time for the reading of the sign of Virgo. Nothing. What rhymes with Virgo? Here you go, where you go, where are you going? That's right. It's time for the last Earth sign of the day. It is Virgo. Remember, like that, like a steamboat, a horn. Virgo. There you go, Virgo. It's your turn. Gotta love our Virgos. Absolutely. Yes, it's time for Virgo. And did we just say a million little things? It's like beads on a bracelet, you know? It's super OCD. It's just like every molecule is in its place, Virgo. It's okay. Just relax. Just chill out. Everything is the way it is. It's got to be the way it is. Everything is the way it is. Got to be the way it is. And you don't have to fight that, right? You don't have to fight that. What? Oh yeah, and again, I don't know. I had to think about the name of the artist, but this was a song in my head for you, Virgo. We're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore. This is Twisted Sister. We're right, yeah, we're free, yeah, we'll fight, yeah, you'll see. No, we're not gonna take it. I know the appreciation you guys have for amazing music, Virgo. So I'm going to sing that little song for you. Absolutely. Are we really we must be echoing or reverbing really badly here. Maybe my audio mixer's like, so that's scene transition. I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe I just need, I know what it could be. How's that? Is that better right there? Right there. Hopefully that's better. I might have just had it turned up a little too loud. I'm a loud person. Virgos are always, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. You know all the songs, right? Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet, 1987, Living on a Prayer. Tommy used to work on the docks. Union's been on strike. He's down on his luck. It's tough. So tough. That's your favorite. Because we're halfway there. Whoa, whoa. Living on a prayer. Just teasing, Virgos. Just teasing. All right? It sounds exactly the same? Dang it. I'll figure it out. I'm not a tech guru. All right, Virgo. Cards are well shuffled. Anne says it's better now. Ooh, well, we might be on the right track. Well, that's good. Let's take it over to center stage for our Virgo friends. All right. Here we go. Wishing you all the best in all things, always. Be most excellent to one another. Infinite blessings to everybody in the chat. All right. Here we go. Next couple weeks for sign of Virgo.
Okay, we haven't seen this particular page up yet. We have begin today's adventure, Virgo, with the Princess of Wands in reverse. So, you feel like giving up sometimes? You feel like this just isn't worth the fight. Maybe you got a stick in the mud boss. Maybe you got a butthole coworker. Or maybe you just got somebody that they rub you the wrong way or they irk you the right way. And you keep having to bite your tongue or bite your lip to like literally just snap at them. But you desperately want to say something to help them out, Virgo, or to show them the error of your ways. And this Princess of Wands being reversed is like asking you to take a long look of like when it is your place to interject on somebody else's wave or behavior. Definitely if it affects you in a negative way and you can't circumnavigate it in any way, then you want to say something. But you may be tempted to really just like get into it with somebody at some point here in the next 2 weeks. Somebody that is like, maybe they're acting like a buffoon, or maybe they just they leave you feeling a little bit excluded, or maybe they just have this way about them that it just, you don't vibe with it, you don't jive with it. And it's just like, well, that acceptance of like, maybe it's bad parenting, maybe it was just poor DNA, maybe they just are not attuned, or they just haven't learned like a level of mature respect for other people, because it's very important to you, Virgo, that people respect the entire room, that people don't play favorites, that people don't exclude other people. And again, with all the justice that's come up from collective in this time and moving into Sagittarius season, you're going to be feeling like it is your place to do something, to say something, to bring about a peace, or to put people in your place, right? With this Princess of Wands reverse. And it's going to be like, but you got to make sure, Virgo, that you're backing it up with your own actions. All right? Absolutely. It's like you want to make sure if you're bringing any kind of profound truth or peace to a room, that you don't act in any level of hypocrisy or encounter action to that which you're promoting. You don't want to be in a do as I say, not as I do kind of mentality or modality, or other people are going to be calling you out. And then that doesn't feel so good. So on the interpersonal level, you might have a difficult couple weeks coming up. And I know it just feels crazy right now. But make sure that you guys are doing your work, Virgo, because you have this nice ability to come down and just get very centered in the activity that is before you, in the tale of the day, or the journey of the day, so to speak. When you wake up in the morning till the time you rest your head at night, you have a very nice ability to get very centered in what's right before you right then and there. But it's going to seem like a bit of a crazy time for you, Virgo, because as we discussed, subconscious for collective in Sagittarius season has people making all kinds of moves and doing all kinds of stuff to try and get out ahead of the future, which we can never do anyways. But it's just all about that time of the year. And it happens because of our societal conditioning with the marble chrysalis, the Black Friday, and all this stuff, the holiday season, where people, and again, they already start thinking about next year, and they try to get way out ahead of themselves, so they end up doing things out of the ordinary, and it just can be like very confusing, especially for you, Virgo, because you're very much like, let's just handle or deal with what's in front of us right now. Let's just take care of the business of the day, the matter at hand. But other people are going to be feeling distracted, and they're going to feel like either joking around or putting their own best interest first rather than the interest of the relationship, the family, the workplace, or whatever. And you're having none of it, and you're wanting to call people out of it, or call people away from that. All right. Now we have a card of Scorpio up here in reverse. Some of you may be in direct conflict or opposition with Scorpios during this month. It might just be a time where it's like this could be the person that you're not seeing eye to eye with, or the person that has a chip on their shoulder about you, or the person that you really feel like calling out that needs to like come down to earth or see things your way. You're staying the course in all matters for the next 2 weeks. Don't expect there's nothing no erratic kind of behavior coming for you. You're not going to walk out, slam the door, and never come back. You're going to look for a commonality. You're going to look for an appropriate solution to whatever problem may come up or whatever may be at hand. And you're actually going to be a place where you're like almost like telling the kids, like, everybody just settle down, just calm down. There's no need to look at things that are, happening for April and May next month, because we haven't gotten to the end of November yet. It's just like you want it to be very practical, as is typical for your sign, and you want it to be very real, which is also typical for your sign. All right, but with the wands and the cups here, this is about you interpreting and interacting with other people's passions and feelings rather than the practical application for life, which is a bit more difficult for you than what you're used to. Okay. And again, it comes up here with the 9 of Wands, all right? But, like I said, you've got to make sure that you've got evidence that your solutions, are in the best interest of the group. For those of you that are in situations where there are multiple people involved, for those of you looking at like love and romance and things of that nature, the sense I have for you is that you might just have to give your person or somebody some room, some space to be themselves, even though you desperately want to call them out for being a jerk or for, doing the right thing. You may just have to let them go. Otherwise, we could be igniting a fire here of something that, and needs to be a little bit more difficult or a little bit harder than it should. There's a lot of mirrored energy here, Virgo, as well. All 4 of your cards this month have come reversed, which is the indicator for me as a reader to remind you that what we're seeing going on outside of this is sometimes a direct reflection of what we're doing on the internal. So maybe we're trying to process things a little bit too deeply over the next 2 weeks, Virgo. You want to make sure to catch yourself before you start overthinking things, before you start like getting into the heavy end of discernment, judgment, or discrimination of such things. Some of the verbiage, I shouldn't like it. Everybody's so sensitive right now. When I say discrimination, it's like everybody goes off in one way of thinking, but I mean that in the truest sense of the words. One thing over the other. So you have to be a little bit, how you're doing that internally is going to be directly reflected to you in what's happening in your environment and your relationships on the outside. If that makes sense, Virgo. Okay? So it's going to be a bit tricky. It's going to be some difficult waters for you to navigate with. And there could be some butting of heads, some like not seeing eye to eye. But if this is somebody you really care about, again, so it came up in one of the other signs readings, it's like you might just have to be like, okay, if you're going to go screw up, I'm not the one to tell you that you can't screw up. You just go ahead. And when you're done screwing up, I'm not even going to say I told you so. You can just come on back, and I'll be like, there. Now you've learned your lesson. And that's where I see you standing in your power, Virgo. But if you're not aware of these kind of things, you might be like, no. And then all of a sudden, it's like everything blows up and a big thing going on. All right? Virgo. I love you, Virgo. What a wonderful world this could be. Hey, welcome, Chanel. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for dropping by. All right. Ooh-wee. Just some quickie readings for mid-November. I wanted to come on. I wanted to do them live, do them fresh. We get it on an authentic, very real wavelength. No edits here. Virgo, you got 2 oracle cards, you lucky ducks. Knock, knock. Who's there? GPS. GPS who? GPS who the heck this is, guy? Knock, knock. Who's there? GPS. GPS who? George St. Pierre, former WWE World Champion. Knock, knock, who's there? GPS, games played, sir. Knock, knock, who's there? I'm just playing with you guys, okay? So, I feel this... Sorry. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm really sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. You've got 2 oracle cards here, and to be honest, I didn't know what to make of them right off the hop. So this is about mystery and knowingness. This is about the yin of yang, about what is known and what is unknown. We need to have surprises and mysteries in our life, Virgo. It's an absolute must. If we didn't have surprises and mysteries in our life, think about how dull, think about how boring, think about how shitty all of the rock and roll and the love ballads and all the songs would be. You wouldn't be just getting lulled into a rhythm and then have all of a sudden somebody break out into an amazing guitar riff and be like, whoa, that was freaking
awesome, right? You wouldn't have that. So just remember, that applies to almost everything in life, where it's always important to have a little bit of mystery and a lot of surprise sometimes, because without those things, sometimes there's just no awakening, or there's just no ability to get yourself out of the lull, so to speak. Great pizza spinach. Great Scott, Marty. Knock, knock, who's there? GPS. GPS who? Where are you, silly? All right. Okay. So, to our Virgo friends, thanks, Virgo friends, that were in the chat room. So happy you came. And thanks for letting me have a little bit of fun with you guys. That was fun to read for you, Virgo. All right. I think we just got a few signs to go. I think we got a few. We've done Cancer, we've done Taurus, we've done Capricorn, we've done Aries, Sagittarius, Aquarius, Virgo, Leo, Scorpio. We've just got I think there's 3 left. All right. Here it is. Ooh. Are you black or are you white, you silly zebra? Now is time for a reading of Libra. Okay. Let's read for Libra, everyone. And that's how we do. That's how we do. God love you, Libra. I don't know. I just started thinking when I tapped into Libra energy, I saw Pythagorean's theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. What the heck does that mean? Was Pythagoras a Libra? Did Pythagoras know the answer? Libra, you got all the answers, right? But I think there's this remembrance, because justice, if you guys have been noticing, and speaking of Libra, then our resident Libra shows up. Hey, Edith, yeah, you made it just in time for Libra. That truth, because justice has been up, I don't know if you other tarot readers out there have been feeling it, but it's lately, no matter who you're reading for, if you're reading for a sign, you're reading for collective, you're doing someone's personal reading, there's the number 11 major arcana. There's Libra again, right? So what's going on right now? There's something to do with the karmic straightening of things being out, and this whole Uranus and Taurus, this 86-year cycle that's kind of come back. Now that we're kind of inching toward the edge of 2019, and most people have either just gone through an alchemical transmutation, or they're getting into a major, great big life change. This is all about how the truth is disseminated, and how the truth is either collective, it is objective, or it is perceptive, right? Or perspective, or what they could say, personal truth, objective truth versus personal truth. And there you are, the law, the judge, the balance, the scales. A matter of you see justice with the sword, the truth and the evenness of it. So objective truth versus personal truth. What's good for the goose isn't always good for the gander. So it's very difficult, Libra, I feel sometimes, for you guys to really get your point across when you just spend all this time in receptive mode, and you're listening to what everybody else has to say, and silently in the internal workings you're what a buffoon. I can't believe that's true for that person. And you don't say anything, and all of a sudden because you have that nice level of appreciation, and it's yeah, that's your truth. March to the beat of your own drummer. I'm not going to say anything too much to you, but at the same time, when it comes time for you to reach out and maybe assist that person or shine some light on that person, it can be very difficult, and you end up kind of mixing your words, or feeling maybe I shouldn't have said anything, or maybe I didn't say the right thing. But I want to say, move with confidence the next 2 weeks, Libra. Say what's on your mind. Speak your piece, and don't be afraid to speak up. Don't be afraid to reach out to people, especially people that are important to you in your life. Sit down and connect on a deep level with, this is a robot sound tonight. Vector 3198216 over. I was playing around with that, but I thought I had it all back. That's so strange. I wonder if I actually am plugged in through the thing. All right. Here we go. I'm well shuffled up, Libra. Let's go ahead and cut the cards for you. I wish you all the best in peace, prosperity, joy, bliss, abundance, happiness, health, and wealth, everyone. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'll have to listen to the playback. I was playing around earlier. I probably shouldn't have done that, but here we go. Libra, next 2 weeks, the moon card reversed. Okay, because when it comes to those matters of perceptive and objective truth,
it's very important, Libra, to remember that when we are in these relationships, we are the reflection sometimes of the other, and the other is the reflection of us. It's very much about, and then from there, you gain this third party perspective of like, the entire relationship has a consciousness of its own. So what you and me and you bring to the table eventually and inevitably becomes its own thing. And that's okay. So it's kind of like if you treat one relationship one way and then another person comes along and they have maybe like a different style of energy or they are in a different zodiac sign, it's okay to address this by being a little bit more dynamic within your energy. It's not that you like, are a split personality or are showing a not a so authentic side of yourself, but it's more so you're meeting the other person's energy in the middle for a sense of peace, for a sense of common ground, and you are the ones usually, Libra, making this adjustment. And this moon card being up here the way it is, it lets me know that you are kind of desiring right now to come out of this shell. You want to stick to you. You want to remain sometimes the harsh, sometimes the articulate, authoritative you. And that's just fine. And I think that you should very much do it. Sometimes when we disguise our truest of inflections and intentions to benefit the peace and, the sensitivity of others, it can be very draining. And I feel like you've been dealing with that a lot, Libra. So take the time, take the initiative, and have the courage to say, no more, at least just for a little while. Now is the time for me and for other people to meet me halfway, right? Absolutely. You got the moon and the sun down here. Don't worry, even though these are reversals, the celestial bodies, the sun, they're round objects, so there isn't really too much of a mirrored energy that goes on with these cards. So this is going to let you know it's going to be a good 2 weeks, or this is going to favor you incredibly well when you stand in your power, when you speak your truth, when you don't compromise your own expression to meet the sensitivity of other people in your environment. It's going to bode very well for you, and it's going to help you. It's going to catalyze you. It's going to push you to the next level, and it's going to leave you very satisfied, and it's actually going to attract more people to you, Libra, and want them to really get engaged with you and take things to the next level. If it's a platonic situation, it's like, wow, I get you. I understand you. I want to know more about you. If it's a romantic situation, it's more about you know what? You're absolutely right. I've been a doofus. I've been a butt brain for quite a long time now, and I never really took the time to recognize or respect that part about you, Libra. So again, this is very good things. This is like you clearing or cleaning up your energy by being more direct and authoritative and having good things come back to you, because people will in your environment will get the settle wake-up call that they need to realize that it can't always be one way, or they can't always draw from Libra when it comes to because you guys are amazing at being able to bounce ideas off. You're amazing conversationalists. You have good ideologies about the world, about life, about just everything in general is very nice. These are very general major arcana cards. It's the sun and the moon, for crying out loud. Very nice reading thus far. Four of Cups reversed. Yeah, self-love. Self-administration, okay? And again, just be very cautious at this time as well about feeding too much energy into situations where people are unappreciative. You guys are going to be very short-tempered at people that feel entitled or that are feeling ungrateful in the next couple of weeks. God forbid, I don't want to come across a Libra and just come and not be grateful or not be appreciative towards that Libra, because they're going to be chill. They're going to be chilly. They're going to be a little bit cold to those that just have their heads stuck in the sand, that they don't appreciate or understand the finer aspects of mutualism or harmony, or what do they call that? Synonym, no, I can't even think of the word, but mutualism, so to speak, where situations that if they're not win-win, and if God forbid you come across and you go on a date with a Libra and you treat the server like an ignoramus. Libra is going to likely to get out and walk out on you because you have no right to treat people that way, and that sort of thing. Because it's standing up for that justice. It's about being a part of that objective truth and being like, no, this is unacceptable, or no, this is acceptable, and you're just being way too damn sensitive, right? And these sorts of things. I really like this about you. Libra, and I see this being a very strong time for you. It's very nice. I'm pretty happy about the whole works. And there it is, the Emperor, for the best interest, for the advancement of the species, for the advancement of mankind, taking the lead in this particular aspect as we work up to Brown Friday and Marble Crystallis. Is kind of like people need to learn that level of, it's like, it is reciprocity. It's not give, take. It is reciprocity, equal measure. The love you make is equal to the love you take. And with the Emperor kind of standing here with the sun and the moon, like, it's just like this Four of Cups. It's like, what the hell is it even doing there? Other than the fact that you're doing this from a point of like self-appreciation and self-love, which is awesome, Libra. But with the Emperor and the sun and the moon, I guess all I can say about that is like, during all this time, you have to make sure that it's like there is the equalization of that humble approach, I guess, or that level of humility, so that you don't end up sounding like, well, not that you don't end up sounding like, but that you don't take things too far. Don't take things too next level, to the point where someone was just like, well, that Libra's a write-off. Like, where did that come from? Or how come all of a sudden that Libra shut down? Especially for our Libra friends that have a tough time doing what I mentioned about this level of expression that doesn't meet people halfway. There's this tendency where it's either it's all or nothing, full gas or full brake. We don't want to see you guys like really just shutting right down either. So the Emperor is saying maintain the healthy balance, because it's not that you're closed off. You're just not standing for other people's BS, right, these next couple weeks, all right? But you want to make sure to know when you've stepped to the line with people, I guess is what I want to say. When enough is enough. It's like how they say, like, the secret to good humor is knowing when to quit. Obviously, I've never learned that lesson. But the secret of, like, making this be effective for you, Libra, to get all of the rewards of that sun and have all that good stuff come back to you, is to be able to step to the line, be like, what? But not step over that line. So that they like, that kind of thing. All right. So Libra, hang tight. We got an Oracle card coming up for you. That's good stuff. All right. Can't believe I sound like a robot. I screwed with something there. And it's out of control. I really definitely am in need of new tech. So hopefully during this Festivus, I might treat myself. And thanks to all of the generous contributions through the personal readings, will make it happen. Abracadabra. I want to reach out and grab you. Okay, you can't reach out and grab them, Libra, but you can definitely make some magic happen. Okay? Do that special thing that you do that makes people go, wow. Wow, absolutely wow. Don't stop that. That's amazing. That Spirit Made Manifest. This is a 3 card in its finest. Keep that magic working for you and let it roll. Okay, tis the season. It's the magic of the time that we live in. And you see it clearly. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Abracadabra. I just told you the area of the triangle. Okay? Especially if any of you are feeling or are in third-party situations, it's all about that line. Okay? Don't cross that line, but make sure people know about that line. Okay? Or they know where you stand on it. Okay? Absolutely. Just an android from the future. Oh, yeah, so I don't know. So I was screwing around with the sound, and then oh well. We're almost done. We're almost done anyways, so you guys won't have to put up with it too much longer. When I first started using OBS and live streaming, or whatever this microphone is, I had a lot of trouble. Who's left? Oh, we got 2 signs left. One starts with a B. We'll keep it PG-13. One of the signs starts with a P and the other starts with a G. Please get extra vitamin C. Yeah. Yeah, and the D. I live so far north that I get sunlight deprived. I have to take vitamin D also. But yeah, vitamin C is good so you don't get sick. But if you're hearing it in my nose, it's because when I read and when the messages come through me and I'm connected, it like my whole sinuses, sometimes they just go like liquefied. I'm lucky I don't get a runny nose while I'm reading. And I can be like perfectly healthy. Like I was out playing sports yesterday. I'm feeling really good. I've been sitting in half lotus literally like the last 15 out of the last 48 hours. So I am feeling very good, very healthy. But you're right. Take some vitamin C so you don't get sick. And the cold, yeah, absolutely. No, Aries has been done. That's right. It's either Gemini or Pisces. It's either going to be Gemini or Pisces. Who's last? I'm more curious about who's going to be last as to who's going to be next. There's Pisces. There we go. 2 little fishies. Doesn't matter how nice he is. It's time for the reading of Pisces. All right, Pisces. God love you. All right, here we go. Very social. Very social. You guys showed up in like how many other people's readings tonight for the next couple weeks? You guys are kind of like going to be out and about. You know, there's your mall Santa right there. You can walk up to your mall Santa and pull on his beard and be like, yo, are you a Pisces? Are you a Pisces? I don't know why I saw mall Santa, but I did. All right, here we go for our fishy friends. We got Pisces rising in the house. That's good. Rising sign is very cool. Very interesting time of day. All right, here we go. Here we go. Wishing everybody the best in all things. Be most excellent to one another, and infinite blessings to each and every one of you that come and spend your time here. I'm so appreciative that you've joined us to do this in this little moment in space and time. All right? Where else we got to be? Here's Pisces for the next couple weeks. Wow. So another sign where it's like these daylight hours and the procession towards the winter solstice is going to provide like a quickening feeling, like the days are going by very quickly. So this all comes back to your sense of like accomplishment versus enjoyment versus accomplishment. These things don't necessarily need to be in polarity. There can be some synchronicity between fulfillment and progression, all right? Because, you know, when we race towards a certain goal, sometimes we lose sight of the journey. And Pisces, you guys are our innovators. You guys are our entrepreneurs. You guys are our inventors of the zodiac. And sometimes you kind of get locked up and all of the gears start working together and all of the gears start like leading you towards conclusions about either the way things are or the way things you would like things to be or what you want to make out of your situation. Like actually physically creating something, whether that be like, I don't know, whatever, woodworking or pottery or whatever, you know, it's like these types of vocations. Because, you know, you may feel that sense like, you know, you go in, you get your work done, everything happens, and then at the end of the day, you're wishing for a little bit more energy so that you can make something of yourself, and you have a little bit more of a difficult time letting go of any sort of disappointment you have or guilt that you have within yourself, that you're just going to enjoy some downtime, some rest, and some quiet time. And this has to do a lot with heart chakra energy and root chakra energy for our Pisces friends. Okay, you may wish, I see a lot going on in regards to writing. You may decide to make a draft of an email to express your position on something, to reach out to somebody. Maybe even just like a complaint letter so you can get a free pair of sunglasses or whatever it might be. You guys are actually going to be documenting and physically writing something down so that you can put it to a greater use later. But it's almost as like you have to get it out of your brain, Pisces, and down onto paper or over onto a hard drive or something like that in regards to your creative processes. All right. And the Three of Swords is up in reverse now as well. Some of our Pisces friends, you'll definitely like kind of like in a healing process. Some of you might be getting over colds, flus. We were just talking about vitamin C in the chat room. Some of you might have just been dealing with like the seasonal aches and pains at our Pisces friends. Others of you might be healing heartache at this time, or just in a funk where it's like this could have been like an ongoing process of even years type thing, where it's like you dealt with something over the long term, the long haul, and 2019 came along and it kind of breathed life anew into you, or swept the old away, and it left you in a little bit of like that old like that mild PTSD shock of like, I don't deal with that heartache anymore. Oh my God, well that's new. What do I do now? Oh my goodness, this is absolutely gone. I'm finally done with it. I'm done and rid of it. So it's a good energy to have, but it lets me know that you guys might still be just taking things a little bit slow, and that again leads to the perception that the days are moving by too fast, which can cause a little bit of like disdain of like, oh shucks, I should be doing more. I wish I was doing more. Those sorts of things. Okay, Pisces? You can do it all. And you've got the time to do it all. This is just about like sort of balancing and keeping an eye on your health and your energy for the next 2 weeks. So very important. Okay? Some of you, because just some of you were straight up not even feeling like yourself. It's almost like you felt like you were living somebody else's life in your shoes. And that can be a tricky energy to be in, because there is this, because of the water element, the nature of the sign, you can be like overly empathetic, feel like extended levels of empathy towards people, or, you know, and then when that wears thin, it's like somebody hit a light switch and you're absolutely like, nope, I don't even want to try to empathize with that person. So these are like kind of the two extremes in the polarity that lead, right, to this division. And sometimes it can bring you down to a level or not. It's just about trying to find a happy medium, right? And this sort of aspect in your relationships, I really do get this sense of quest of being like, where's the happy medium? You're realizing now, Pisces, and you're going to have a chance in the next couple of weeks to really exercise your newfound abilities to find middle ground, to not be so polarized, to be like, oh, well, no, I did this, so I absolutely cannot do that. You know, I can't have my cake and eat it too. And you never tell people that they can have their cake and eat it too. But in some situations, on the subtle, small, the little pleasures in life, sometimes you actually can. And sometimes you actually have to accept the fact that, you know, the abundance, the comfort is real. And it's yours to explore. You don't have to be afraid of it. You don't have to hold on to this level of apprehension that, you know, just because it's something good in your life, that because of the yang, because of the two fish, Pisces things, that something bad is going to happen, because you bring that about quicker when you think about it in those terms. It's kind of like just that full jovial level of happiness that you can experience while you have the time of comfort, while you have the abundance, and while you have all this stuff, right? But and this is kind of coming out more so like time, all right? To me, the Pentacles have always been about time. Time is a tangible thing. It's a man-made construct. Therefore, it's like something that can be like molded, like a clay pot or something of that nature. You can work with it. You can use it to your advantage. And we don't have to be in this mindset like, oh, the days are going by too fast, or oh, I feel like you know, I'm slowing down because, you know, I'm in this level of self-care. It's more about really find your enjoyment. And don't push the things that you enjoy away. Find your happy ground. Find your happy medium with these things, Pisces. Okay? Eight of Swords reversed. Yeah, because you're coming out of a time where you literally felt trapped. You literally felt either bound to something, or that you were perhaps a victim of circumstance, or that there was something going on in your environment where you had no choice, but there's been a bit of an awakening or an enlightenment process to that environment from Pisces' perception to be like, wow, I don't have to allow this to have dominion over me. It does not necessarily have to have the power over me that I perceive that it does, or that I'm actually allowing it to have, because it's about perception. You know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and truth is all about the perception. We just talked about that in some of the other various readings. So when it comes to this, Pisces, it's kind of like, if you can remain in optimism, it is just going to manifest better and good things for you in your path, in your life, and in these next 2 weeks to come. So if it's like when you wake up in the morning, if you wake up in an optimistic frame of mind, the universe is going to closely mirror is what I'm trying to say, your level of optimism or pessimism on the internal by providing you with how well you feel while you're engaged in terms of comfort, abundance, blessings, or is it just more apprehension? Is it just more nervousness about the future or whatever it might be? So it might very well help you guys to actually just like write some of this out, document, like journaling, very important, is a very good activity. You can't like, you don't need to do it all the times, but there's certain times where it's like, it's really beneficial and it's really helpful to do so. Not that I see a bad couple weeks coming up for you Pisces, but it's just almost about like a reading of like, life is what you make it, or make it what you want. Subway, make it what you want, or Burger King, have it your way. If you approach it with pessimism, it's going to be more nervousness and fear. If you approach it with optimism for no reason, then all of a sudden it's going to be feeling like uplifting, enlightening. Physical health will improve. Your mood, your nature, everything around you is just going to feel very much better. And call a friend. Would you like to call a friend on that hotline bling? Do it. Reach out and touch someone. Pick up the phone, call an old friend, hit somebody up on Facebook that you normally wouldn't do. Just tap in, especially if you're bored and you're not really finding a reason to be optimistic. The optimism is, look at the age we live in. We've got a million different things that we could do with our time. So why streamline it? Reach out, find out what other people are doing, explore, these sorts of things, right? Write a letter to this person. That could be a hotline, right? Imagine that old person that you wanted to reconnect with, and then you just decided to write a letter out in longhand and put it in the old-fashioned mailbox. Can you imagine somebody like reading? That would be like something more like an Aquarius would do. But can you imagine if somebody came along that opened up that letter? It was like, holy moly, pudding and pie, right? Okay. So that was for our friends over there in Pisces. Alrighty. Alrighty then. Alright. Mon ami, mes amis. My friends are your friends are my friends. Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Alright. What's going on? I absolutely forgot what we were doing here. Oh yeah. It doesn't matter if this reading is for her and them or him and I. Now is the time for the reading of sign of Gemini. I go to little great lengths to think of these poems, you guys, to introduce these readings. I hope you appreciate them. No, I don't care. They're not. They're not that good. The average content programming on 99.9 will continue unless it gets better, which hopefully we'll get our sound issues figured out. All right, Gemini. That's it. That's all. Hey, and Rebecca, thanks for staying tuned through the whole program tonight. That's awesome of you. Dripping and Ice as well. I see you guys there. Thanks so much for supporting me. Oh, and Robbins has come. He's still here. Good jorb. Good jorb. Huh. All right. One last sign to do. And then if anybody was still here demanding a personal reading, maybe I won't give it to you. Maybe I will. I can't believe that, hey? Just come in. I'm here for my reading. Without even saying hi to you guys. That's just like, we don't need that. Badgers? Badgers? We don't need no stinking badgers. By and by, it's time. Hey, that would have been a better one. By and by. All right. Yeah, for sure. We don't do this format too often. And you guys don't need my undivided attention. You got your cat, you got your dog, hopefully you got the fireplace turned on, all that good stuff. Be cozy tonight. Yeah, we more or less want to like continue on because, I feel that that's kind of important. I totally understand that knowing about the future happens out of like reasons for self-empowerment and self-improvement,
But it's like when you approach it from a level where it's like you're entitled to your own self-improvement and self-betterment through someone else, that creates like a paradox that's not an energy that we can sustain or that we can even handle, right? And maybe I should explain that a little bit better to the people when they're actually here doing that kind of stuff, but it's like those are kind of lessons, again, that they learn on their own. It's like that kind of stuff. All right, Gemini, here we go. It's 10:10. It's not 11:11, it's 10:10. Here we go, Gemini. I got your cards well shuffled. This is reading 12 of 12 for tonight's festivity. Sorry I sound like R2-D2. We'll try and get that worked out. All right. Wishing you all the best. Here we go. Gemini, what's going on? Ooh, Ace of Swords. Gemini, you may have to be careful about people in your environment and your perception. You know, I don't want to come out in your reading and say in the next 2 weeks somebody's going to lie to you. But it almost like, with this Ace of Swords here, it appears this way. Or you may just, if that's not the case on a very mundane level, this could be a case of you like being a little bit too far removed from inspiration. You might be too involved or caught up in, you know, the things that detract from the other things that actually promote the awakening of consciousness. You might be like singing your own lullabies in these sort of ways where it's like, you know, your perception of today and your perception of the future is one of a strong level of like control and creation and actively manifesting, but you do it on somewhat of a surface level. And I feel like in the next 2 weeks, there's something coming along that is meant to be inspiring to you, but you're going to need to be on your game to sort of like get the hint or catch the drift of it or actually become inspired. Because it's not that you have to meet it in the middle, but it's like inspiring things happen all around us, and people sometimes get inspired without even expressing the fact that they were just inspired. And for you, it's kind of like, if you get inspired to do something, then by all means, go ahead and take the appropriate steps to put action to your plan. It's saying like, don't just plan, take some action, right? And this sort of thing. The other feeling I get from this particular ace being here the way it is that some of you could be feeling a little bit more philosophical about your situation. And it's not that you have too much time on your hands or anything like this. It's just that, you know, the search for deeper meaning takes you sometimes down the most interesting and obscure of pathways. And sometimes it almost feels like it's too much to handle, or you resign yourself to being lost. And then you have a tendency sometimes to just give up. And then you go back to like exercising, going back into that comfort bubble and exercising that place where you feel most in control, Gemini. I totally get it. I totally understand it, especially for you. But this Ace of Swords is saying you don't have to dead end your path this time. Whatever comes along that beckons to you for adventure, for growth, for deepening of philosophical understanding, you are meant to be inspired by it to follow it. Okay? 10 of Cups reversed now. Since I get here now too, it's like sometimes people get along the best when they are not coming from a place of deep emotion. It's okay if you feel like, because this is about inspiration and feeling, Gemini, deeply. And I don't know if this message is like a super deep healing message for just like one particular person or two people that might ever come here to hear this message. Because, you know, let's face it. Well, you know, I'm just speaking this out into the etheric, really, to whatever ears it falls upon. But, you know, there is something to do here about feeling an inspiration or feeling inspired again. It's almost as if there's some level of newness or some level of like doing something for the first time is very important.
the things that you do, you like them, you get used to them, and you do them. And when you do try something new, it can be like on the subtle, oh, I'm going to try a new type of food, or oh, I'm going to try a new type of thing. Maybe some of you just need to actively like kind of get on the bus and say like, well, I'm going to go and do something on my bucket list, or try something that I've always wanted to do, but I've always held myself back due to worry or fear or other people saying that it was unattainable or that I couldn't do it. This will be the next couple of weeks will be the time for you to put down, either to go and do it, or at least start to envision yourself doing it so that you can put some momentum behind it. The feeling I get, Gemini, is that you really need to break yourself out of a rut. This hasn't been a long rut, but this has been a rut of like maybe 3 or 4 months that is kind of like it's been confining. You may have felt your personal space shrinking a little bit. You may have found like you've been drawn close to other people in your environment, and now you're just longing for like maybe a little bit of separation, a little bit of me time and things like that. But when you get that me time, or when you take that me time, don't waste it whatsoever, okay? All right. Here we go. Queen of Swords up in your business now, and here you are, Gemini. You haven't been feeling like yourself lately. Something's been detracting, something's been on your mind, and you're having a tough time getting it off your mind. And that's okay. I realize, situations can be complex. They can be complicated sometimes. And Gemini, of all the signs in the zodiac, you have one of the most complex minds. You have some of the deepest thinkers and deepest philosophical approaches to life and the way you are. And so when something is troubling you and it troubles you on a mental level, it's very important to find somebody that can take a very objective approach. When you confide in somebody, which I get a sense in the next couple of weeks, you're going to actually be like opening up and confiding in somebody about the way you feel, or about what you want, or what you're thinking about doing, or what your plans for the future are. I would just encourage you to find somebody, when you find yourself doing this, someone that takes a very objective approach. Anybody like that's tight within the family, or tight within, or has any kind of invested interest in what you do and how it affects them, is not the best person to be confiding in. You want to talk to a friend that's far removed, or maybe somebody that doesn't really understand. It could be like your culture, or it could be like the nature of your situation, and get the idea. It's not that you're outright like looking for counseling or coaching by any means. You just need a fresh perspective, or to see what somebody else might do if they were in your shoes, and that could be the inspiration that we see coming for that. Okay, 8 of Wands. Communication. Of all the signs, Gemini, there it is. You're going to be breathing the biggest sigh of relief when the current Mercury retrograde is over. It's like finally news is coming forward. People are making declarations to you, Gemini. It could be anybody in your environment, really, about what the next step is, about what the intentions are. So when it comes time to like going in the flow and taking aim at the future, I think, what is it, the 20th? And then the shadow period's done around the 23rd, 24th of the month. This is a time where you're finally going to feel like, all right, the weight has been lifted. You see the contrast in this, like this shielding that's going around here, like this inability to be inspired, to express all this stuff. This weight is going to be lifted, and then boom, it's takeoff time. All the ideas, all the things you want to do, you're gonna feel some liberation moving in, within the next 5 to 6 days, the next week or so. It's going to really come in, and you're going to feel like a weight has been lifted off your shoulder. And when it does, that's when you're going to really be feeling like, I want to talk about it. I want to reach out. I want to like see what other people have to say about this situation, about what I'm going through. Okay. Good night, Robins. Thanks for being here. That was it. That was Gemini, the last sign. All right. Here we go. And Gemini will receive their yearly reading in December, when they are in opposition. I've decided to give each of the signs a yearly reading at the start of one of our live broadcasts for when they're in opposition of the sun. So when the sun is in Sagittarius, the reading will be for the people in Gemini, and vice versa. Okay, right? Ooh, and you could be lucky.
It might be worth putting a couple quarters in the old dilly doll. It might be worth buying a lottery ticket. It might be worth, just staying optimistic about, your chance that life will improve or that a windfall could be yours if the price is right. Sign up for that kind of stuff. Why not? If it takes 2 seconds to write your name down on an entry form at the supermarket and throw it in the box, absolutely do it, Gemini, because, luck is on your side. I feel it strongly with this Eight of Wands being, this is a lucky card, absolutely. And then you've got this card of Jackpot. So good luck is on your side for the next 2 weeks, absolutely. But, when I read, I like to dig deep. I like to get in there for them healing messages, so it's good. All right, well, that was it. We're done. And if Ange and Rebecca and Robbins, everybody going to bed, dripping in ice. We sound normal again? That's good. Right on. Let's go ahead and pull a collective card for the people in the chat room, and then we'll call it a night. Jackpot. One more card, just for collective and the people in the room. Thanks, everybody, for coming to stay. All right, I might have to read from the book for this one, you guys. I'll set this card down. I'll read for you guys, and then we'll call it a night. Okay? Here, I might even... Here, let's do this. So we can get a little bit closer. You guys can see it. Well, is that not going to do it either? Maybe we have to get it even closer. There we go. The third ray of creative intelligence. Nothing professional tonight. Here we go, you guys. The third ray of creative intelligence brings the gift of practical spirituality and develops the talent for grounding inspired creativity into the world. It empowers your manifestation. This ray brings many gifts, including new ideas and the practical support needed to bring them to life. The ability to organize, make connections, and network and synthesize information from various sources into a coherent whole. Archangel Shamuel helps you receive this gift from the universe with love and intelligence. So that's it, for you guys that are here, I feel that message is for you. Here's a quick invocation about it. I now accept, of my own free will, the blessing of grace of the third ray of creative intelligence. I thank the universe for all assistance in turning my spiritual aspirations into successful, practical, real-world manifestations of light, grace, love, and empowerment. I gratefully receive the unconditionally loving intervention of the angels to recover and express all talents and abilities meant to help me fulfill my mission. Thank you, universe, and thank you, water, for helping me to manifest my divine dreams. I ask that in unconditional love, this ray be made available to everyone who can benefit from it, according to divine wisdom, mercy, and compassion for the greatest good. So be it. It is a pretty card, isn't it? It's a pretty little ditty. Absolutely. So we can take from that, into our Sunday, our day of rest. Programming note, I'll be back hopefully next Thursday, probably with a late night of cash. There will be a spiritual talk late at night. People will be hungry for readings, but hopefully the late night of cash will not go sideways like it did last Thursday, like a few days ago. That was nuts. That was crazy. And then we should be on with the open frequency readings, hopefully on Friday or potentially Saturday. I might be back. I'll be traveling, gypsy style, all that sort of stuff. Oh, Rob IS, thanks for dropping in. Hey, you guys, if you haven't already, don't forget on your way out, if you could just drop a like. We're still looking to promote the channel and in all ways and in every way we can. So thank you all for being here, all of you. It's really awesome to spend some time with you in this format. It's fun to read for the signs. And hopefully you guys found it resonant and accurate and all that good stuff. Again, this program brought to you by the good people at Thank You Water, reminding you no matter what sign you are, you're always near if you're never far. I don't know. Who writes this stuff? All right, my friends, that is it. That is all. And until next time, if it'll even turn off. I'll remain legend.